Ryan Hunter-Reay is on track to become the first American IndyCar champion since Sam Hornish in 2006. Can he complete his transformation into an all-American superhero?
Oh, crash, and it is
Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Oh, we've got a crash. Oh, wicked crash.
Oh, not again. Ryan Hunter-Reay is in the sand.
And the celebration is about to begin for Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Here we go.
Battle for the lead as Ryan Hunter-Reay gets it.
There comes Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Way to go, man. Way to go. Beautiful drive. Beautiful drive.
Could an all-American hero stake his claim to the title on foreign soil? We're in Canada for round 11 of the IndyCar Series. The action's live from Edmonton City Centre Airport. This is Edmonton Indy. And there's so much more to winning this title than ever before. Who will prevail in the ever-complicated mathematics of 2012 IndyCar? Here to try and unravel the implications of the rules and give us a common-sense view of who's hot and who's not, our Autosports editor Charles Bradley and former IndyCar driver and now resident in Indianapolis, Jay Howard. But before we hear from my guests, here's a reminder of the finishing order at our first foray north of the border. Ryan Hunter-Reay won the Honda Indy Toronto race, making it 3 wins in a row, while Charlie Kimball grabbed a career-best second place from a season-best third for Britain's Mike Conway. Tony Kanaan was fourth with Oriol Servia and Helio Castroneves, fifth and sixth. J.R. Hildebrand, James Jakes, Takuma Sato and Alex Tagliani complete the top 10 under the flag. That adds up to a 34-point lead for Ryan Hunter-Reay, but early series leader Will Power is still red hot for the title. With Helio Castroneves and Scott Dixon squabbling over third place, James Hinchcliffe and Tony Kanaan can hardly be separated in fifth and sixth. Top rookie Simon Pagenaud is seventh, defending champ Dario Franchitti eighth, but 105 points off the leader. Ryan Briscoe and Oriol Servia round out the top 10 so far. So a big night in prospect tonight and a big welcome to Jay Howard for joining us for the first time here at Sky Sports. I'm sure you'd rather be driving than sitting here though, Jay.
Yeah, the driver's seat would be a much nicer place to be, but it's a pleasure to be here, and I know there's several other guys that are kind of similar boat to me with the new engines and everything that's going on in IndyCar. You know, it's been tough for me personally, but if it's better for the sport and better for the series, then you know, it's a good thing.
Nice way to look at things, of course, but we wish you best as far as the drive's concerned from this point onward. Charles, nice to have you back as well. You've given me a nice link, actually, Jay, straight into the engine thing. Penalties abound again this week. We're seeing them everywhere through motorsport, it seems, at the moment. But in IndyCar, your perspective as Autosport editor, I mean, obviously it's something that a lot of people are writing in about.
Yeah, absolutely. You just hope it's not going to overshadow the championship, basically. Today we've got another 5 penalties, including the championship leader, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Scott Dixon, Will Power, you know, really, really top people. And you just feel if there's too many of these penalties, it could actually really affect the outcome of this championship.
Got to ask you as a driver, Jay, I mean, as not quite affected by it at the moment, but of course, how much of this is down to a driver? I mean, some drivers have used more engines than others. Is it because they're a bit more aggressive with them, or?
Well, yeah, I think that's obviously a topic and, you know, a subject that, you know, a lot of people are asking and talking about. And, you know, from a penalty point of view, if it's driver induced, okay, you can kind of say, well, you know what, you deserve a penalty. But if it's from the engine manufacturer's point of view or something out of the driver's control, is it fair to penalise the driver? And obviously that's a fine line, and I'm not the guy who's going to be deciding that.
A lot of people on a fine line here at Edmonton this week, of course. Let's take a look at see who has actually been doing what over the years. Obviously, IndyCar have been here as the Indy Racing League since 2008, but before that, of course, we had the Champ Car Series here as well. I've got to say, Charles, a lot of usual suspects here. Sebastian Bourdais from the old days in Champ Car, he was very quick, 4 times a winner. Justin Wilson as well was there in those days, but Since then, it seems to be a Will Power Scott Dixon share out.
Yeah, just the sort of, you say, usual suspects, the guys we normally expect to be up there. 2011, of course, the first time they used this version of the track. It was a very different track before then, and it's a nice one. Lots of long straights, lots of overtaking opportunities.
Bumpy old tracks, these airfield sites, though, aren't they? With a lot of braking opportunities. And now that we don't have the blocking rule, Jay, much better environment perhaps for a driver.
Yeah, I think so. Previously with the blocking rule, it's very grey area. I prefer to have it how it is now, and the tracks like this with the big heavy braking zones, it's going to make for a good race.
Well, we've been talking about Ryan Hunter-Reay and his winning streak. We can hear from him now, but first, a reminder of his 3 victories.
Best is underway. Michael Andretti put so much on the line to restore this historic race. Now his driver's going to go into victory lane.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, his 2nd win in Milwaukee.
Happy Father's Day to my dad at home. This one's for you.
Ryan Hunter-Reay wants the lead in Iowa. You'll see the twin checkers for the 2nd straight week.
Ryan Hunter-Reay wins the Iowa Corn Indy 250.
3 in a row for Ryan Hunter-Reay. He will take over the championship lead by 34 points.
That was awesome. 3 in a row. I don't even know what to think about this.
And the man of the last 6 weeks or so is with us now, Ryan Hunter-Reay. They talk about the zone. Have you entered the zone?
I don't know what we've entered, but it's certainly been a good streak for us. And, Andretti Autosport's given us the tools to do what we've been doing. And we find ourselves here in Edmonton. We got the pole. We'd certainly like to start where we qualified, but, we're going to have to start 11th. And Scott and Dario are back there, Scott and Will are back there with us. Dario's starting on first now, so that's where we've won all our races from when Dario starts on the point. So hopefully it'll continue.
He's won the last 3 poles. You've won the last 3 races. You mentioned you have to start 11th because of the penalty for an engine change, just 10 spots. You've won before. You've been strong throughout your career, but has anything changed this year? Why so much success right now?
It's like I've been saying, it's more the continuity in the team atmosphere. I've been with the same guys now for 3 years. We've had an opportunity to build on the setup that I liked, and now with this car, it's kind of like a level playing field, and we've certainly made the most of it in a short amount of time. So it's something we want to build on, and we want to keep going like this year, though. This is, we're not resting on the 3 races that we've just had. It's going to be a battle from here on out. It's going to be tough.
Your best championship finish is 7th. Is the mindset change any now with a lead and a nice little lead, but it can go away in one race?
It doesn't. I'm hungrier than ever. That's the bottom line.
That you can be sure of. Well, IndyCar brought back push to pass for the Toronto race 2 weeks ago. Here's Jan Beekhuis with his explanation of how this horsepower boosting system works.
One of the great things about the new turbocharged engines is that the series can make power adjustments between different types of circuits, let's say from an oval to a road course. And now, with the introduction of push to pass, that change is almost instantaneous. When a driver hits the push to pass button, it tells the ECU, or engine control unit, to raise that turbocharger boost. Now, of course, the turbocharger in this case, on a twin turbo, sits off to the side, so the exhaust comes off, and it uses what would have been wasted energy to spin a turbine, and then spin a compressor that compresses or boosts the air into the engine. Now, the way you control that boost and the speed of the turbo is through a wastegate. Maybe you should think of it as kind of like a garden hose. Put your thumb over the garden hose, that closes it off, spins up the turbo, and then feeds off, keeping the speed exactly what you want. With the push to pass, you not only get more power, and the power increase is about 30 to 40 horsepower, you also get 200 RPM. It seems to be just about perfect that this is now push to not guaranteed pass, but push to I really have to work at it pass.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing, but what do I know? Charles, from a show point of view, we want to see passing. Everybody wants to see passing. We've got DRS and KERS in Formula One. We've got push to pass now and a non-blocking situation in IndyCar. Good for the show, but slightly manipulative.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a racing purist, so I like to see drivers earn their passes. But with the DRS system in Formula One, the problem was that sometimes it was too easy to get an overtake. I quite like the push to pass because it gives you, like Jan was just saying, gives you a chance to overtake the guy in front. But it's also a sort of push to defend as well. If you know the guy's on it behind you, you push yours, and then it's back to a level playing field. So I quite like the strategy element of that system.
Very strategic, isn't it, IndyCar nowadays, with tyres and the like as well. But the push-to-pass system, I mean, you've driven it with a push-to-pass. Does it make a big difference?
I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't have F1 experience to kind of compare on that side of things. But one of the things which I really like, Firestone have done a really good job this year with making a big difference between the reds and the blacks. And for that, especially when you get into racing, everyone on their different strategies, you can really start seeing some good overtaking and some good racing. So, props to Firestone for doing a good job there.
How much do drivers influence their strategic manoeuvrings during the course of a day? I mean, it's obviously a team thing and they must have some input into it, but is it a call from the top of the pit box that you have to adhere to, or is it a little bit from yourself as well?
I think it's a team, a team call for the most part. We let the guys in the box, tell us what we should and shouldn't be doing, and every now and again we'll try and push the boundaries where we can. But it depends on the situation. But for the most part, it's the guy calling the race that makes decisions.
Well, one strategy, of course, they want is to be on pole position. Here's the grid, which incidentally is never confirmed by IndyCar until after morning warm-up, just in case they need to apply even more penalties. And at the last count, there were 5 applied this week, starting with the pole man. Ryan Hunter-Reay has been put back to 11th, so Dario Franchitti takes over the position with Ryan Briscoe alongside. Last year's pole man Takuma Sato sits with Alex Tagliani on row 2, while Helio Castroneves is now joined by Simon Pagenaud after 7th and 8th qualifiers. Will Power and Scott Dixon also copped 10-place penalties. Row 4 is Rubens Barrichello and Graham Rahal. James Hinchcliffe and Justin Wilson are on row 5. Row 6 is the demoted Hunter-Reay and 2-times Edmonton winner Sebastian Bourdais. Joseph Newgarden and James Jakes are on row 7. Marco Andretti and EJ Viso are row 8. And on row 9, it's the displaced duo of Will Power and Scott Dixon. Then it's Charlie Kimball and JR Hildebrand on row 10. Tony Kanaan and Ed Carpenter are row 11. Mike Conway and the penalised Oriol Servia are row 12. And once again, Simona Di Silvestro is put to the back of the grid. All these changes might be confusing to the casual viewer, but there's one man on the grid who knows exactly where he's going. He's a legend. He is Robin Miller.
See that? Rubens has got a good-looking woman. Guess what Graham Rahal's got, kids? He's got good old Robin Miller. Oh no, I've been replaced. All right, kid. Hey.
Hey.
What's he gonna do?
He's gonna do good.
All right, give him a raise if he wins. Okay. Chip Ganassi. The old man, Rubens Barrichello, it's his best qualifying spot ever. He starts, and he said he likes this place because it's got a lot of bumps. See if Pagenaud can talk to me. Hey, brother, did you make friends with everybody? They like you again, don't they?
I try to make friends.
He's gonna try and make friends. That means don't hit anybody on lap 1. Castroneves gets too much airtime. We're going to go up here to the Canadian. Oh, there's Bronny Tagliani. That's a good shot. Hey, cutie.
Hey.
Hey, Tagliani.
I don't know if he can hear you.
We need a Canadian to win this race.
Well, I'm going to try my best, bud.
All right, well, you got a good starting spot. That's something he didn't know, right? I just told him he had a good starting spot. He can see the front row. All right, there's Sato. We got to go see how Franchitti's feeling. Hey, young man, how you feeling?
Yeah, not bad. A bit better than yesterday.
You didn't drink any NyQuil before the race, did you?
No NyQuil. I think I'm going to need my wits about me today.
See, Chip showed up because he's expecting you to win, of course.
Yeah, the boss is here now, so the pressure's up a little bit.
All right, good luck. And last but not least, there's Ryan Briscoe. I don't know, I can't get to him. Well, it's kind of awkward when they get their helmet on, boys and girls. This is not what we planned. So we're going to improvise. I'll be Ryan Briscoe. Hello, brother. You feel like this is your day?
Man, I'll be going for it. I need it to be my day.
Yes, sir. You think, kid, you expect this thing to be pretty much like it was last year, a lot of bumping and grinding, or are you guys going to pay attention like they've been doing all year?
There'll be a lot of passing. I'm going to try to get Dario on the start here. And but then there's going to be a lot of fuel saving today as well, unfortunately. But we'll have to see how the yellows play, and hopefully it's a race where we can all push and do a lot.
Okay, kid. All right, well, that was a kind of a decent grid run. It wasn't all bad. We had some pretty scenery. We had some nice looking girls. I'm not out of breath. Roger Penske's still talking to me.
He's exceptional, Robin Miller, cutting off Will Power just in his prime again. Time now to join our colleagues in Canada. Let's cross to Edmonton.
start ever on a street or road course back in 17th. Ryan Hunter-Reay carrying the Verizon streaming on board with a new engine in that car. The HP in-car camera with Simon Pagenaud starts 6th. And on the outside of row number 1, Ryan Briscoe has the IZOD on-board camera. On this day, in 1962, whenever we can mention names like Roger Ward, Don Branson, and Don Davis, I'm happy. In 1962, Roger Ward won a rain-shortened race in Trenton, New Jersey. In 1990, Al Unser Jr. won the Toronto Grand Prix, beating Michael Andretti and Eddie Cheever, and he would go on to win the next 3 races, was the last American to win 4 in a row. The crowd is ready, and they are enjoying what can only be described as Chamber of Commerce weather here at Edmonton. It rained on Friday and Saturday just a little bit, but today is just absolutely gorgeous. At Belle Isle, he was 63 points behind in 7th position, and now he is up 34 after Toronto as we head to Edmonton. And we are just about ready to go off of corner number 13. They hold down the pace just a little bit. Everybody on the straightaway. The green comes out and the Edmonton Indy is underway.
And watch Tagliani. Briscoe said in the interview he was going to go after Franchitti, but it's Tagliani on the inside.
Give him a nudge. They give him a nudge.
I didn't know whether Briscoe was going to make it, but he did.
Alex Tagliani said, I'm going to be a bit more conservative. Well, that didn't play to for him. Now here comes turn 5. This is where all the action was last year. Sato to the inside.
Sato trying to get 3rd for Briscoe.
Oh, yeah, that's where you got to be careful under braking. Was that Barrichello that made, or Pagenaud? One of those guys made a great move on the inside. I believe it was Barrichello.
Elio Castroneves, I think, moved up a spot or 2. Alex Tagliani is right on Dario Franchitti. There's Castroneves up to 5th.
Ryan Briscoe said he was going to go for it. He needs to really get going this year. Definitely in the Hitachi colors now for Penske. That is not the way he wanted the start of this race to go.
Down this long straightaway that leads to turn number 13. And let's see if Tagliani will make a move. He will not. Franchitti will have the advantage coming out of corner number 13 as they come down to complete lap number 1. But we'll see if Tags makes a move going into 1. He moves to the inside.
Tagliani's on the push to pass, so let's see if the push to pass is effective. The crowd's going crazy.
The Canadian crowd loves it. A Canadian from Toronto gets the lead.
And like that.
The push to pass is effective. He timed it perfectly. You know, he was more patient. He waited for a lap and did it perfectly cleanly, but I don't think Dario's done yet.
That's Takuma Sato back there in 3rd spot. And J.R. Hildebrand comes in for a nose change.
He made contact with somebody and lost part of his nose.
Meanwhile, back on the racetrack, Castroneves is 4th. Then comes Briscoe, Barrichello, Rahal, Pagenaud, Wilson, and Hunter-Reay has moved up to 10th, gaining 1 spot here in the early going.
Now, quickly, I mentioned push to pass. They don't have a certain number of pushes as we watch Hunter-Reay work his way through. They have a certain number of seconds. They have 120 seconds they started with. Tagliani is now down to 99. Franchitti is at 110.
Nice movement down the straightaway here. That's Will Power moving to the inside, trying to pick up a position as we're on board with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
And you'll see that Ryan Hunter-Reay is on the black sidewall Firestones. That's what won him the race, that strategy in Toronto. The same strategy that Will Power is trying to do. That is just try and maintain your position early in the race, then fly on the faster ends later. And then, oh, that's Marco and Viso.
Trying to go to the inside of Viso, but that didn't work. Viso holds off the challenge for 16th position. Will Power up to 14th.
I mentioned in the open about the blocking, defending were different. The way it is now described is you can't move in reaction to that whole Viso-Marco thing. It looked like there was some movement going on in reaction to, but probably not enough to warrant a penalty. Kind of more like a warning.
E.J. Viso back in 16th. KB Racing Technology, that's James Jakes just ahead of him. There's Tagliani, who's leading the race, and let's take a look at the start. On board with Briscoe.
So he gets on the brakes late, does Briscoe, but see, position is everything. Oh, and you're right, Wally. There was definite contact between the front of Tagliani, just a little nudge with Franchitti.
And there is Will Power, who is up to 14th. He has gained 3 positions since the start of the race. So has Tagliani gained 3. Tony Kanaan up 2. Mike Conway is up 2.
Power's on the button. Power's on the button, but it's not. Is he closing in enough time? He's coming in a bit late. He's got him.
Like you said, position is everything.
Yeah.
So move Will up to 13th position now.
Will Power's now down to 91 seconds. Hasn't used too much. They're being very, very careful with their usage.
Joseph Newgarden now right behind Will Power in the blue car. Sarah Fisher-Hartman racing.
And that may have been why he came in late. Wally, I bet he didn't use it for the whole straightaway. He just used it for the end of the straightaway. Marty?
And guys, the reminder, they're doing all of this. Will Power is on the primary tires. You notice he has on the black primary tires. A lot of the guys around him have on red tires. Tim Cindric told me if we can gain 3 or 4 spots, that's a huge gain for us because they'll go red to finish this race.
3 laps completed out of 75 right now. Power has gained 4 positions since the drop of the green flag. Here comes Hinchcliffe, Bourdais, and Power. Right behind him is Newgarden. And they complete 4 laps. Tagliani, this is the 3rd race that he has led this year. He led the Indianapolis 500 and also 20 laps when he started from the pole in Texas. Back to Edmonton after this. Edmonton, Indy.
This summer, Sky Movies is bringing all your favourite family films together on one dedicated channel. It's called Sky Movies Summer.
Buckle up, kids.
And it's the perfect destination
Are we there yet?
for guaranteed family entertainment.
It is on. This is the life.
Sky Movies Summer. Available now. No one brings you movies like Sky Movies.
If you're saving for a future to look forward to, we can help at HSBC.
Oh dear, you need a new TV. Wouldn't it be great if someone could explain how TVs have changed? If they taught you your LEDs from your 3Ds and what makes a smart TV so smart. If they could show you the infinite possibilities and then show you the one. Curry's PC World. We can help.
To collect your first, second, third, fourth, whoopsie, Mirka Toy, buy car or home insurance or get credit card, so compare the market.com. Simples.
Get double savings in the DFS summer sale. With prices cut twice and 4 years interest-free credit, everyone wins. Double savings must end soon. DFS.
Major League Soccer continues on the NBC Sports Network. Rising star Breck Shea leads FC Dallas against the incomparable David Beckham and the Galaxy. Saturday, 8 Eastern on the NBC Sports Network. Alex Tagliani has about a 1.5-second lead over Dario Franchitti, with Takuma Sato running third. Sato was right on Franchitti's rear wing a few laps ago, but now has dropped back just a little bit. There is Elio Castroneves running in fourth spot.
Well, Castroneves, I suppose you could say, first in class. Marty was talking about the Penske team of Will Power being on the black sidewall. Same strategy here for Castroneves. So, like Tim Cindric is trying to do with Will Power, if Castroneves can kind of maintain position on the not as quick tires but more durable, that's what you want.
And that was their theory, Jan. While they started on the primary tires, they feel like the red tires for at least the 3 car are almost a second faster. So they feel like that's going to be a huge advantage for the last 2 stints of the race. When I talked to John Erickson, he said, our main goal is to just hold where we're at, where we started the race, and they've actually gained a couple of spots. So looking really good so far for Elio Castroneves.
He's never won here at Edmonton, has finished second 3 times, and has led 55 laps. He led the most laps in the 08 race. Going to go on board with Charlie Kimball. He has found Mike Conway again, as they did in Toronto, and Kimball makes a nice pass down in turn 5.
Temporarily. That's the pass and repass that we talked about in the Open.
Yep.
And on the previous lap, when we were away at commercial, actually it was reversed. Mike Conway tried to go up the inside, and they almost touched.
By the way, Will Power has moved up another spot. He's up to 12th. Charlie Kimball is back in 21st. A great run for Charlie in Toronto 2 weeks ago. And here comes the front of the field.
You know, Takuma Sato in third, you know, he's hanging. He is right there, and his issue in the back. Now, he was the track record holder. However, this new car with the more downforce on these tires, they just crushed. They crushed over 2 seconds faster this year. But he is a guy definitely that likes this racetrack, and he was quick in the rain also here, and that shows that it's a racetrack that suits his style.
Tagliani is. He's a little bit every single lap. He's pulling on Franchitti.
And they've called him on the radio, that is Tagliani. And they've told him, we want you to save fuel, but maintain some gap.
And Takuma has been fantastic here at this race course. He started on the pole last year, led a lot of laps before he was taken out, qualified well here, but he really liked the wet. He said he was actually grinning under the visor yesterday. When I asked him this morning if the car was good, he said, it's okay. I really wish it was wet.
I think he's happier now.
Rubens Barrichello is in. There's Bobby Rahal, the owner of Takuma Sato's car and team. Now let's go back of Sato. Castroneves.
Try mix 5 for a little bit.
Be behind him. Then comes Briscoe and Rubens Barrichello, starting today in good fashion, currently in 6th position, about 8 seconds behind the leader.
Rahal's right there. I thought he was going to take a look there.
Yeah. And of course, you saw that great shot of Bobby. He kind of watches out of both monitors. He's obviously keeping an eye on Sato and keeping a close eye here on Graham Rahal.
He's on the push to pass.
He's on the push to pass. They're both green, and so is Barrichello to try to defend.
Rahal tries and does get the spot, and that's Justin Wilson.
Good job, Graham. Keep digging.
Justin Wilson passes Simon Pagenaud. So Wilson is 8th, Pagenaud 9th.
Boy, it's tempting. You really have to manage that push to pass. I mean, it's tempting to use it.
And Wilson just made a pass on the primary tires on Pagenaud, who was on the red alternates. That's impressive, but that would happen later in the stint because the reds go off. That's the design. The reds are good first. They fall away. If you're on blacks, you start gaining speed. And look who's behind. Someone on blacks, which is Ryan Hunter-Reay.
He also used, what, 30 seconds more.
Yeah.
Or he has 30 seconds less of it now.
Firestone telemetry will show you the speed achieved down into turn 13.
In qualifying, they do 165.
Close.
That was 161.
Down
Let's
to...
see if Hunter-Reay goes for some push to pass.
And Jan, they just told Ryan Hunter-Reay, use some fuel to get by him. In other words, use that push to pass to get by the 77.
Here he comes.
He's on it. They're both using it.
Little bump there, but Ryan Hunter-Reay gets the spot.
Now you saw that they were highlighted green, Hunter-Reay and Pagenaud, and then the seconds counted down. So that 80 seconds remaining for Hunter-Reay, 94 seconds remaining for Pagenaud. Again, it's timed, and they'll highlight green when they're on it.
Pagenaud battles back, however. Still the best battle on the racetrack involves these two. Ryan Hunter-Reay, Simon Pagenaud. And James Hinchcliffe is back there in the GoDaddy car, green car.
And I just think it's a great indicator. Just keep in mind those cars that you saw on primaries making progress. We saw Castroneves make progress. We saw Wilson make progress. I think coming into the race, those are the cars that are going to be near the front.
Power right behind Hinchcliffe in 12th.
On the straight, Simon.
Don't think anybody's close enough to use the push to pass coming into turn 1 this time. On board with Power.
Tony Kanaan's in, you guys. He didn't move up very well. He started 21st, only passed 2 cars. It's a 3-stop strategy, though. He had to come in earlier than he wanted to.
All clear.
Hasn't been a particularly good weekend for Kanaan, so he goes off strategy.
And as Robin said, that's going to commit you to a 3-stop strategy. That you have to go much farther before you can make it in 2.
12 of 75 laps now are in the books. And Alex Tagliani took the lead on lap 1 and has held it since. Tagliani leads Franchitti, Sato, Castroneves, and Ryan Briscoe.
Gives us a chance here in the Sky Sports studio to get you to join us on Twitter if you have such a facility, at Sky IndyCar. There we are, at Sky IndyCar. Give us your questions and I'll get the lads to answer them if we can here. Charles Bradley and Jay Howard are my guests today. I suppose we've got to talk about Tag first, out the front, doing it for Canada, of course. Jay, quite a nice position to be in. He's looked fast, though.
Yeah, he looked very fast, and yeah, credit to the Brian Herter Autosport Group. I mean, they've done a really good job, and yeah, especially since making the switch to Honda. And yeah, one thing which yeah, we chatted about briefly is the this fuel consumption, and yeah, is Tagliani pushing too hard too early? You know, we're a little unsure of that, so time will tell. But yeah, he looks strong.
Fuel mileage, not something any of us enjoy, driver, team, or I would imagine anybody looking in to our screens at the moment. Fuel mileage is a pain.
Yeah, it's a constant bee in our collective bonnet, isn't it, really? I mean, you know, the good people of Edmonton have paid good money today to come and see these, you know, want some of the world's best drivers drive these fantastic Indy cars around flat out, and they're not getting it because everyone's driving to a fuel number, and it's a shame to see, really, isn't it? We want to see them those cars going as fast as they can. Same feeling from the drivers, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, another point is safety. I mean, how many accidents we see in pit lane, and you know, if we can eliminate that, and you know, I mean, it's all the better. And I don't think there's anyone out there that would not like to see the change.
Alex Tagliani out front then. Dario Franchitti, you can see there in the target car in its traditional red and white colours at the moment, still in second place. And if anybody can save fuel, you can be absolutely sure that Mr. Franchitti will be sipping at it nice and gently, because Dario Franchitti is one of the best at fuel mileage, and he's well placed at the moment in second place, particularly if Tagliani is burning it up. Let's go back to our colleagues at trackside.
And Pagenaud moves up to 10th position. Don't miss a chance to get on a Honda's fastest seat in sports sweepstakes. Enter by logging on to shophonda.com. You can have an opportunity to start an Eyes on IndyCar Series race in the Eyes on 2-seater, driven by an Indy 500 winner like Ari Luyendyk or Mario Andretti.
And of course, you're looking off the back of a Honda powered car, followed by a Chevrolet. And so amazing to me is the first practice session was dominated here by Honda, 1 through 8. Then practice 2, all of a sudden Chevrolet was up there. It seemed as though Chevrolet went back and kind of tweaked their configuration. Wow, they're close.
Yeah, Hinchcliffe got in there really deep. You can see the rear of the car kicked out a little bit. That was close.
Hinchcliffe is on push to pass. It's highlighted in green, but I think he might be too far back.
Away, yeah.
Is he gonna? No, it's gonna work for him. That's a long straightaway. He's got to get into position.
Gotta stay there. Gotta stay there.
Oh, it's not over.
Yeah, but Pagano's got the line here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jon. I think if he would have just been a little bit closer, he could have pulled that off.
Those were a few seconds to push to pass. He may want to get back.
When we went to break, I was a little hesitant to say Tagliani has led every lap. I thought that Dario led number 1. However, that is not true. Tagliani passed him just before the start-finish line, and so Tags has led every lap so far.
Shouldn't doubt yourself, Bob. You had it.
That's for us to do.
You had it.
There you go. There'll be plenty of that, I'm sure, as we go along. Good battle here. Here comes another passing opportunity at the end of the straightaway here. Let's see what happens.
Hinchcliffe is on it again. He's on the button again. He's got to make it work or he's going to use all of his... There he goes.
He did it.
But can he turn? He can't turn. He's going to lose all kinds of spots. There goes Power. There goes Bourdais. Newgarden. Oh, and Power hits the wall.
Twice.
Will Power, how does he hit the wall there?
And now Bourdais is right behind him.
Will Power's got to be careful. He can't turn in at full chat. And of course...
Looking.
Wow. What was going on there?
I tell you what, Hinchcliffe locked that thing up pretty hard. And you talk about being a street tire.
Yeah.
I mean, he had that thing. I hope he didn't flat spot it.
I just thought Will Power looked like Will Power came through and just had a position given to him, and the next thing he's rubbing up against the wall.
Well, in any case, Hinchcliffe goes from 11th to 13th.
Okay. So Power's a little wide. He's trying to get on the Power. Just
tank slapper.
Yeah.
And guys, so far no word from Will Power on what happened exactly right there, but I did ask Tim Cindric why the engine changed before this race. They only had 300 miles on the engine they pulled out of Will Power's car. He said, A, we feel like the upgrade from Chevrolet is fairly significant. It will help us, but B, we would rather change here than the upcoming races at Mid-Ohio or Sonoma where qualifying is so critical. He said, here we can make some passes. We can make some moves. You see Tim on the right side of your screen right now. We can come up through the field here, so we feel like the penalty would not be as bad here. Jan, do you agree with that move, that making the move here at Edmonton while a little bit early was probably the right spot?
I do agree, and he actually had a really good comparison because remember, Will Power there is followed by Bourdais. Bourdais would have the original spec Chevrolet engine, or at least not the latest, that Will Power now has because he changed the engine. And I thought that Bourdais had him for sure, but I think that straight line and that additional power definitely helped Power.
And what's going on with Scott Dixon? He's lost the pack, running by himself.
He said he needed a miracle.
Chassis dash, position 2. Chassis dash, position 2.
There's Marco trying to get around him. And here comes Charlie Kimball.
Yeah, he's losing power.
Okay, there's no contact.
And we're telling them to change the maps on the radio. They're trying to recycle the system. Wow, has he had reliability issues this year?
Back to 20th spot right now.
Not a good birthday present. Barrichello to the inside.
He takes the spot from Justin Wilson in turn number 13. Barrichello is 7th.
Barrichello has said this is by far the bumpiest circuit I have ever been on by a long shot, but he's getting to like it, and he's on the button defensively, Wally. Yeah. Not bad. That was a good move, don't you think? Or do you think he didn't need to use it there? You think he had enough clear of Wilson?
I think he was, yeah, who knows? You're asking a guy sitting in the booth.
And Marco and Kimball battle it out as they try to decide who is running in 18th and 19th. Right now, it's Marco in 18th.
Yeah, it's probably just the tires.
Able to get back in the field and watch that pass. But up front, it is all Alex Tagliani with a 2.5-second advantage on Dario Franchitti. Here's a pass. Charlie Kimball and Marco Andretti.
Discover all your family favorites and more in high definition. Sky. Believe in better.
Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love? 1, 2. Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love? In love with someone? Ever fallen in love? In love with someone you shouldn't fall in love with.
Stunning design, clever technology. The new Kia Ceed. Live more life.
Remember the bog-off offer from SafeStar UK? Well, it's back!
You know the one. You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free. Right now, for every single window door that you buy, I'll give you another one absolutely free.
They promise to beat any genuine like-for-like quotation. Plus, there's flexible monthly payments to suit you. And SafeStyle are still giving you free fitting.
Trust me, it's free fitting. So call 0800 106 107. I said 0800 106 107 now.
Looking on price comparison sites isn't the only way to save money on your car insurance. Because comparison sites only quote for one car at a time. With Admiral Multi-Car, if you have 2 or more cars, you could save even more by insuring them all on one multi-car policy. So to make sure you don't miss out, go direct to admiral.com. Admiral Multi-Car. One premium, one renewal, one policy.
You're back to our live coverage of the Edmonton City Centre Airport race. It's round 11 of the IndyCar Series. And if you're joining us for the first time, you're very welcome on Freeview this weekend here on Sky Sports, of course. We've got a lot of viewers that have picked up the pace here with IndyCar. You're very welcome to join us, and we'll try and fill you in on all the details as the night goes on. Let's go back to the track.
Recycled it, it did refire, but as Mike Hull just told me, we're working on alternatives. Remember, this is the same thing that happened to this team at Long Beach. Eventually the engine did die, and remember a couple weeks ago, you see the battle there, these guys making some contact, Dixon losing the power there earlier, it came back to power, he was able to get around both of those guys, and also they're coming off the 25th place finish last week, or a couple of weeks ago at Toronto, so they definitely do not need another engine problem on Scott Dixon's team.
Oh, this has been a good battle between these two guys the last 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah.
And Kimball finally made the pass. He ran into Marco at one point. I thought he was going to pull out and pass and got into the back of him, but that's how you do it right there.
Well, yeah, but now he's run into him, and now he's pushed him over the pit exit line, which stewards will not like that. They may talk to Charlie about, because they're very, very strict on not crossing that line. Of course, Marco had to. Got pushed over there. We'll see now if Kimball can capitalize on that, but they definitely have been trading some paint.
Here's Marco and Kimball.
Yeah, he's like, Marco's like, what are you doing?
What the heck?
Hey. Now see, because Kimball can stay straight, but he comes over and gives him a shove. I mean,
Tagliani.
What do you mean you don't mean?
He's wound up.
I was going to say, I mean,
he's wound up. That's it.
Alex Tagliani is the first Canadian to lead a race in Canada since Paul Tracy led at Toronto in 2010. And Takuma has a 1.8-second advantage on Dario. but that's less than it was a couple of laps ago. And hanging right in there in third spot is Takuma Sato.
Yeah, Sato is not letting Franchitti get away, that's for sure. He was a little bit closer a couple of times. I don't think he's been close enough to him coming off at turn 13. He used to push to pass and really make it work for him, but very good car.
Dario started from pole by virtue of the fact that Ryan Hunter-Reay, who of course was awarded the pole point, took the engine penalty and was started in 11th spot.
You gotta watch, look at Catraneves on the black sidewalls. I mean, he's hanging in there when all these guys are on the reds. He could be a big factor before this thing's over because he is running a very good pace.
And they are now in their pit window. So you probably want to go a couple laps to give yourselves a buffer, but if you see some of the leaders, if you see them peel onto pit road, that is within the window of making it in 2 stops. But every additional lap you go helps, and there we go, on cue, Hinchcliffe. Kevin?
James Hinchcliffe is the first of those running with the leaders, really the first other than Tony Kanaan that's going to come in. He's going to go with a set of sticker reds, the alternate tires, good quick stop. So now what he's hoping for is a caution to let him cycle through the front, but it's going to be challenging. He's right on the brink of being able to make this on one more stop.
I was going to say, if you're on the primaries, though, you'd want to probably come in as early as possible. Like, if you're in your window and I'm Catraneves, I'm going to be coming to pit lane as soon as I can get the reds on.
Back up front, here's how they stand. First, second, and third pretty close together. A little bit of a gap back to Elio in fourth. Tagliani will come down to complete the 23rd lap.
Not only is Castroneves doing such a great job by maintaining position, he has used not 1 second of push to pass, meaning that he's saving fuel. And I would expect, although we think he wants to get the tires off, he may be in a position to go longer.
Oriol Serbia is the only other one that apparently has not used any.
There goes power on the power, on the push to pass.
Passing Pagenaud, and Power will move up to 10th spot.
Takes him down to 63 seconds.
Almost a third of the race completed already, with Alex Tagliani still out front of Dario Franchitti. Back in a moment.
You join us back here in the studio with me, Jay Howard and Charles Bradley from Autosport magazine. And gentlemen, let's follow up on some of the Twitter feeds that we've been getting here at the moment. Can't make my mind up which one to go, but my favourite at the moment, it looks like a bumpy track for a runway. How does it compare to a street circuit? Fancy a race at Heathrow? That's from Ranting Youth. Quite like the thought of that. Bumpy racetracks, Jay, never easy, is it? And we can hear these cars on the rev limiter, and that's probably not because they're geared wrong, it might just because they're being spinning on the bumps.
Yeah, the bumps definitely had a challenge to it because, sometimes you want more grip from the car, but making a certain change on the car you can't do because then it makes the car horrific under the bump. So there's a little give and take there. And from a physical point of view, oh my
excuse
God.
me,
it's close.
From a physical point of view as well. I mean, just getting battered around inside the car. So it's definitely tough, and I would love to see a London race.
Yeah, so would I. Heathrow would suit me fine, but I'm not sure the neighbourhood would like it much. They're not too keen on the planes around here. But was that Bourdais that was in a bit of a mess just there with the Frenchman's wheels all locked up?
Yeah, it was all French action between Bourdais and Pagenaud.
Well, thinking of the French theme, Bradley Wiggins, of course, for Team Sky. Fantastic ride today to win the Tour de France. I've got to mention that in our show. If you want to join us, at Sky IndyCar is our Twitter feed, and we'd be happy to hear from you. And if you're first-time viewers to IndyCar, we really appreciate your company tonight, and hopefully you'll enjoy our coverage. Let's get back to the track then and rejoin our colleagues.
Back in Edmonton, where those up front have not made pit stops. That's Tagliani leading Dario Franchitti and Takuma Sato. We did see some pit stops you saw on non-stop. Oriol Serbia make a stop. And now Graham Rahal is in.
Everybody's on.
Taking the black sidewall. This will be his stint when he has to try and maintain position on the blacks. Same for Rubens Barrichello.
Clear to the wall, clear to the wall. Watch your pit lane speed.
Justin Wilson pitting at the bottom of your screen.
Now, of course, he'll get the opposite.
Joseph Newgarden leaves his pit. There's Charlie Kimball. Simon Pagenaud also in.
So there went Hinchcliffe, because he's already made his stop. You saw him just flash past Pagenaud. I would expect the leaders anytime.
And
there
here comes
is
Tagliani.
And Franchitti, all three.
And Sato, all three of them in.
Guys, they're set up. Dixon maybe coming in as they're
Let's see who wins the battle here in pit lane.
Come around 100 guys.
60-mile-an-hour speed limit down through here. Down to Kevin.
Takuma Sato will hit his marks. He's had a nice run going. Bobby Rahal is very happy with the fuel that they've been able to save, and he said just maintain your pace in front of Franchitti. Marty?
Alex Tagliani on pit road. They'll put on sticker, black tires, get it full of fuel. He leaves pit road very quickly. They did not want any changes to the chassis. Dario Franchitti leaves pit road as well.
Got him.
And I believe Tags barely beat him, didn't he, Bob?
Yep, barely. They come out in the same order that they went in. But a close battle off pit lane, and here's Scott Dixon now making a stop.
On pit road, and the engine back to full song. It'll be sticker black tires for Scott Dixon. He was pretty happy with the chassis, but obviously they have a lot of ground to make up, Bob.
Yep.
Oh, Bourdais leaving the pits right in the middle of this battle.
Coming out right ahead of Hinchcliffe.
Get a little dicey.
And here comes James.
Oh, my.
That's not defensive?
Door slammed.
He moved awfully early. I mean, he tried to get himself over, saying, I'm taking that.
More than once, it looked like.
And on pit lane is Ryan Briscoe. Kevin.
Ryan Briscoe started second, lost a couple of positions at the beginning of the race, fell back to fifth. He's now in the lead as we cycle through. Briscoe will come in, and he will change off of the reds onto the blacks. Listening to Roger Penske in his ear, and there we'll see Will Power go right in front of him as Briscoe merges back into traffic. Marty?
One file this away. Will Power able to go about a lap longer than everybody else. We'll have to keep an eye on the leader, see where he cycles back out. It'll be the red sticker tires for Will Power, and we'll see if he can gain any positions here on pit road. Still pitting with those 4 tires for Power. He did not want any changes to the chassis, so very happy with the chassis, but 4 sticker tires for Will Power, and we'll see where he cycles out.
Oh, he's trying to stay ahead of Hunter Ray. We saw that Briscoe slotted into 5th. And now Power's going to try to do whatever he can. I expect he would defend just like we saw Bourdais do a moment ago.
I'll guarantee you.
And guys, Ryan Hunter-Ray, very adamant on the radio. You hear it right there. He said, that is a chop. He chopped me coming off pit road. That's what you're not allowed to do. That is a must drive through for Will Power, and he wants his team to go find an IndyCar official. Here's a replay of it, Bob.
Wow.
I was going to say, if I was Hunter-Ray, I'd be pretty ticked off about that move as well. You see Hunter Ray coming in, he's using, and I mean, Power just drove right across the nose. That's pretty dirty.
From Ryan Hunter-Ray's perspective.
Wow. Don't you, I mean, that's pretty obnoxious.
But he transitions right between the dashed.
Not allowed to do. You just tell me that's a drive-through. Make sure it happens.
Well,
we're on it.
We know exactly what his opinion will be, but Will Power really cut where the dash line is, and now Franchitti's going for the lead.
Franchitti to the inside of Tagliani.
Oh, wow, he locked that left front up. He's going to hang on to it.
He's going to lose it, I think.
Tags battles back.
Yes.
And is going to...
Now watch Castroneves. Remember, Castroneves now is on reds. These guys are on blacks.
Get on the button. No.
Oh!
Nice move.
Look out.
You pull it off.
Castroneves is... That was awesome.
Elio now second.
But don't forget those reds, boy, they make you feel like Superman, and that's what Castroneves feels like right now.
He had to live with it. He was out there driving that whole first stint, just trying to hang on to it on blacks, and now he's got the performance advantage.
And guys, remember, the team told us they were about a second faster for Elio's car, but they had to take advantage right now, right when they're fresh on the car, so he's got to get tags here pretty quick.
Let's see what happens as they head down into 13. We'll see if Elio will make a move and get on the push to pass.
I don't think he needs to. I think his tires are good enough. If he can just keep working closer and closer.
I think he'll try it here. I think he'll go for the button. Let's see. Yep, he's on it. But so was Tagliani. That's why you didn't see a change in gap.
Race control is reviewing the situation between Ryan Hunter-Reay and Will Power as Power exited the pits.
If he crossed,
those tires up, they're coming.
If he crossed where it was dashed, he'll get a penalty.
Yeah.
If you think he crossed where it was solid, he won't. But I have a feeling he crossed it where it was dashed. It's right on the edge of what they let you do.
And guys, not to add to all of this soup, but Dario Franchitti back there in third saying that he felt like Alex Tagliani cut him off. He wants officials to review that when they were trying to pass for the lead. So a lot going on, isn't there?
Yeah, you got to drive the car, talk to the officials.
I mean, that's what you do. That guy cut me off.
Great way to spend a Sunday afternoon, accusing each other of cutting one off.
All right, let's see. So Dario gets in too hot. Tagliani comes back like he should. Slots back into position. Okay, now did he get chopped here?
Yeah, that's a great move right there. Elio just hung tight. He had the better tires. See how he just whipped through that left-hander.
That was fantastic for Castro Neves. I don't really feel that was a chop for Tagliani. But
Tags holds on to the lead. This is the 63rd IndyCar race held in Canada. Tagliani trying to become the second Canadian native to win a race in his home soil. Paul Tracy did it at Toronto and
Vancouver. Sky Movies Premier HD, sponsored by Intelligent Living from Panasonic.
This summer, get more of the year's biggest blockbusters. Exclusively with Sky Movies.
Anything's possible. Caesar is home.
That is some good. No one brings you movies like Sky Movies.
When you're watching the match, nobody wants injury time. Voltarol Emulgel is designed to target pain where it hurts. Unlike products that work by only cooling or heating the skin, Voltarol contains an anti-inflammatory which strikes at the source of pain, providing powerful, deep-down relief so you can be game for anything. Voltarol, the joy of movement. And now available prescription-strength Voltarol pain ease tablets you can get over the counter. Ask your pharmacist today.
Makes me get off my bed, and then I watch my face in the mirror and try to recognize a friend. It's nice to see you again.
The new Peugeot 208. Let your body drive.
An itchy bear asked a sloth, "Here, where's the best scratching tree?" The sloth said, "Ugh," and pointed to another sloth. 23 sloths later, an itchy and angry bear asked the owls, who said, "It's over there, Squire." And the moral is, ask in the right place and you get a proper answer. With ING Direct, 94% of customers got what they needed on their call.
Tagliani, Castro Neves, then Franchitti, Sato, Rahal, Briscoe. Those are your top six, with Will Power about 5 seconds behind that group in 7th position, and Ryan Hunter-Reay is 8th. No action taken by race control in that incident between Power and Ryan Hunter-Reay as Power was exiting the pit lane. No action taken. There's Power in the 7th spot. All all by himself. There comes Ryan Hunter-Reay, about 3 seconds behind him. And we had a change of position. Ryan Briscoe and Graham Rahal. Rahal to the outside of Ryan into turn 1, picking up the spot.
That's definitely the hard way to make a pass.
And of course, Ryan Briscoe takes the defensive line, but now he has to stay there. Graham Rahal has to break quite a bit later, but gets back and picks up traction. That was a beautiful outside pass. Now, Bob, we should also say that although Power was let off the hook, Sebastian Bourdais was not. Sebastian Bourdais was dinged for a penalty and has already served a drive-through penalty.
And it has cost him 4 positions. Bourdais back in 21st.
Well, guys, Ryan Hunter-Reay not happy at all about the fact that no penalty was given to Will Power when he came off of pit road. In fact, here's his radio conversation with the team after the no penalty call.
You've got to be kidding me they don't call that. That is absolutely ridiculous. All right, let's just focus on the job. Let's keep going. We're still fighting it.
And guys, Michael Andretti has told him several times, he keeps saying, Will Power's leaving me, he's checking out. He's told him several times, just calm down, focus on your car. That's all you need to worry about right now.
And in
sometimes that's hard to do when you've lost your mind. And really, I mean, you know, he's obviously really, really angry. And that's where you start making, you know, you start driving a little bit harder, you start making some mistakes, and you've got to slow down and get back focused. He's right.
All right, let's go through the field. Marty, you're first.
Well, Alex Tagliani, the Canadian, making it look easy, isn't he, Bob? He's out there cruising along. They keep telling him on the radio, listen, Alex, you're controlling the race. This is your race. He's kind of pacing second place Helio Castroneves right now to make sure he can hit his fuel number. For Helio, they have the reds on. He wanted no changes to the chassis. Clearly, the car very fast. They were fast on Friday as well, but struggled on Saturday, kind of went back to that Friday setup, and they've been very good ever since. Dario Franchitti has gathered himself back. He felt like Alex Tagliani should have been called for a penalty earlier. They have blacks on Tagliani's car, or I'm sorry, Franchitti's car, trying to make its way back to the lead. Kevin.
Takuma Sato right behind Franchitti, running in 4th position. Bobby Rahal very happy with the fuel mileage they're getting. He had the podium at Brazil, but did not finish in 7 of the first 8 races. Now he's finished the last couple, including a 9th at Toronto, so maybe back in the right mix for Sato. Right behind him, we have Graham Rahal. We just saw a moment ago get the position on Ryan Briscoe. Rahal also being told he's good on fuel. In fact, they said you can go after it. You don't have to save here at this point. He's been a Canadian citizen to some extent here for the last few weeks. He's been vacationing in St. Andrews, New Brunswick. Right behind him, Ryan Briscoe there in the Hitachi-colored cars. He's running in the 6th position. He started 2nd. Roger Penske also happy with his fuel mileage so far. 9th in the championship. That's not going to be part of it. So his only goal right now is winning races, Marty.
Well, Kevin, his teammate Will Power is back in 7th, and he's gaining about, according to Tim Cindric, a half a second a lap on his teammate Ryan Briscoe in front of him. They're telling him to hit his fuel number, but the lap's clearly very good for Will Power. Ryan Hunter-Reay trying to calm down back there in the 8th position. I agree with Wally. It's kind of hard to calm down when you've been through all he's been through. And to add to all of that, the car bottoming out really bad going into 1. That's not something they can really fix during the race today. For Justin Wilson, he said on the last run, the tires really fell off bad at the end of the run. And he told me yesterday, we've raced very well this year. We haven't finished very well this year. He said, if we get out of here with a top 10, that's what would make me happy, Kevin.
We talked a lot about engine penalties so far today. James Hinchcliffe, running in the next position, is also on the brink of serving penalties. He has lost 2 engines at Toronto, so from here on out, every time they make an engine change, it's 10 grid spots for James Hinchcliffe. And Simon Pagenaud is next. Earlier in the race, they thought he was losing power, at least he did, but then he was able to complete a pass after that. So far, so good for Simon Pagenaud, running in 11th, Barney.
Scott Dixon trying to track him down for 11th, Kevin, and obviously they had the engine problem earlier. The car shut off. They recycled it. It has come back to life, and it's been fine ever since. So maybe after all, Scott Dixon did get a birthday present, sitting back there in 12th, car running fine, Kevin.
Mike Conway might be one of our hard chargers as we watch Takuma Sato going around Dario Franchitti. Sato picks up the position and moves up to 3rd place.
Good job on the through the field. Kimball running 14th, and Barrichello, Newgarden, Jakes, Viso, Andretti, and Bourdais are the top 20. But Takuma Sato has picked up 3rd position as he was able to get around Dario Franchitti. Nice move here.
And he's been dogging him for the whole race pretty much. He finally got into a really good position here where he could outbrake him. Really nice job.
Picture perfect. Can't do better than that. Unless you're Charlie Kimball and you take 2.
There have been 3 leaders. Will Power led 1 lap, and Ryan Briscoe led 1 lap. But the guy who has been out front for 35 laps is Alex Tagliani. He has about a 0.6 of a second advantage on Elio Castroneves. Sato's 3rd, then Franchitti and Ray Hall.
To all of this in 2012. Go to skysports.com/upgrades or call this number for further information.
Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love? 1, 2. Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love with someone? Ever fallen in love? Love with someone? Ever fallen in love? Love someone you shouldn't fall in love.
Stunning design, clever technology. The new Kia Ceed. Live more life.
Take a family home. What if you could make it just a bit better? What if you could watch original British drama and award-winning US shows and other great TV you can't get anywhere else? Imagine controlling how you watch them so you can see what you want when you want. What if you could watch that great TV wherever you like? On your laptop or even on your iPhone? And if it came with reliable broadband and calls too? And if all that cost $21.50 a month? Carol? Wouldn't that be brilliant? So, treat your home to TV you can't get anywhere else, that you can control with Sky Plus and watch where you like with Sky Go, plus broadband and calls for $21.50 a month. Sky. Believe in better.
A great city to visit, and we've enjoyed our stay in Canada. Great Canadian people. They are great race fans, and hope we can come back here in future years. And a Canadian, Alex Tagliani, is leading this race, as except for 2 laps. Castroneves right behind him in 2nd.
And Castroneves is, he may have lost his opportunity for the sweet spot of the tires that now he may just need to maintain. And, you know, Alex Tagliani is really trying to dodge a bullet here, because we saw how aggressive Castroneves was in that battle between the two, and now he's just thinking, if I could just hang in here on my blacks, hang in here, I know the car's good on the reds, I'm going to get him back again. So just keep Elio back there. I may have dodged a bullet, and he's everything going his way at the moment.
This is one of the rougher sections of the racetrack here between turns 10 and 12.
Which reminded me, when you said the bumpy sections and we see Tagliani, I just remembered I had this discussion with him this morning. With the big bumps in that final turn, you look back in 11 and 12, they were concerned with the settings that they had on their shocks, on the dampers, that it might not last the race unless they made a change. In other words, it was so aggressive that it was actually breaking pieces in the damper, and they were at a toss-up at which way to go. Marty?
Yeah, and they were a little worried about that. You and I were talking to him, Jan, and he said they had to make some changes to make sure that that didn't affect them during the race. race. Obviously, it's not affecting him right now. Back behind him, Dario Franchitti, you see he's in the 4th position. A moment ago, he tried to use his push to pass, and it didn't work. They had him reset the dashboard or reset his steering wheel, and then he tried it again, and it did work. So obviously, he needs a little bit more of that to get around Takuma Sato right in front of him. But for a moment, push to pass did not work for Franchitti. Evidently, that problem is now rectified.
And Graham Rahal is right there in the battle also. By the way, we are past the halfway mark in a very fast-moving race. No full course cautions to this point. Let's hope we can finish the race without such.
Graham Rahal is looking very racy. And then if Graham Rahal catches up to Takuma Sato, then you'll have Bobby Rahal conflicted. His driver and his son battling.
And it's safe to say it's going much better for Graham this year. Remember, he took contact on the opening lap last year and spent the rest of the day in the booth with you guys.
Right.
I think he enjoyed
it. Was a great day, yeah.
I think he enjoyed it, but he's probably having a better day today.
You know Rahal wants to get past the car in front of him really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Teammate, being your teammate. Then, like you said, if you get to Dad's car, you want to pass that car pretty bad, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Franchitti was on the push to pass that time.
And that means, what does that mean? I'm worried about Graham Rahal. He's catching me fast. Hey, Fitz, I'm just going to check that push to pass again. Yeah, it seems to be working.
Two Penske cars behind Graham Rahal. Ryan Briscoe is 6th and Will Power is 7th. Here they come. As far as points are concerned, right now, Castro Neves has moved into 2nd in the points and is 31 behind Ryan Hunter-Reay, with Power slipping to 3rd, 33 points behind.
Now, if you watch the right rear of Power, watch how much movement across these bumps, and that's why Tagliani, this is one of the places where they were concerned because of the bumps and the huge movement that comes. Actually, it's the next one coming up here. You can see the kind of shocks that it sends through the suspension system. It's amazing as you come through here how much movement there is.
Up through the gearbox, there's Ryan Hunter-Reay running in 8th position, carrying our Verizon streaming onboard camera. And call Star Indy for live in-car camera, driver pit crew chatter, and more. You can download it, IndyCar Mobile, only from Verizon.
And you can get a little bit of the sense of what Marty was talking about through the field. He said that the car for Ryan Hunter-Reay was bottoming heavily into turn 1. You can almost kind of get that sense. You see the shock through his helmet from this great shot from overhead. Boy, this is this is a place you're working hard. Whoa! You hear that? Whoa!
That's a hand. This whole section is a real handful. Yeah. It's so fun to watch the steering.
Yeah. Here's the right that Tagliani was worried about in here. Pow.
Well, it's been an impressive streak for Ryan Hunter-Reay. 3 victories in a row. And by the way, the last driver to win 4 races in a row in IndyCar was Sebastian Bourdais. There's Ryan, and behind him is Justin Wilson. Running 9th, and the 10th place guy is James Hinchcliffe, the other Canadian in the field. Completed on lap number 44 of 75 here at Edmonton. Thanks for joining us for the Edmonton Indy here on the NBC Sports Network.
So 43 laps in, no cautions, 75 to go, and was that Rahal in a bit of trouble just there?
Jakes.
It was James Jakes. You a good spot. So Jay Howard here with us in the studio, Charles Bradley also. Let's do some of these tweets that we've got here at the moment. Does Rubens have a chance of a win this season, and if so, will it come down to rain? Charles, I'll throw that one at you as a bit of a curveball.
Well, rain's a very good idea, actually, because I think in the dry, he's got no chance. Started the season pretty well, I thought, and had that great run at Indy. But KB as a team just seems to have gone totally off the boil if they were ever on it. And you know, even with TK as a very experienced teammate, they just haven't seemed to make any headway, and they've gone backwards, if anything.
Okay, one from Christian Rose for you, Jay. If you could drive any of the current IndyCar teams, which and why?
Good question. Over the last few years, obviously Penske Ganassi seat would be great because those guys have been dominating. But yeah, one of the great things about this year is that no one really has dominated. Okay, Ryan Hunter-Reay's had a bit of a run here, but I really like Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan, where I raced last year. They're great guys. Brian Hurt are great guys. I mean, there's a list of several teams that I'd like to drive at.
Sounds like there's a bit of a social link there as well somewhere among those. Charles, something that we're asked all the time, but it's the first time I've had an opportunity to put it to you. A UK round.
Yeah.
It's very popular in IndyCar fans over here. They're all banging the drum for a UK round. I mean, a street course, we've got plenty of them.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it'd be great to see him on a road course. Obviously, we had Champ Car at Brands Hatch not so long ago. I think if we just found a sponsor for a race, it'd be fantastic. I mean, look at the way they use an airport here. Something like Top Gear Test Track, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? You know, and let's get it on.
Let's get it on. I prefer the Grand Prix track at Brands Hatch, I have to tell you, but that's just, I'm a bit old school like that. So as we continue into this now, 46 laps of the 75. No cautions, I have to say, Jay, I was a little surprised at that.
Yeah, they're all behaving for the most part.
They're still moaning at each other though, even though they're behaving. Aren't they?
Yeah, I can't imagine the inquest after this with Ryan Hunter-Reay obviously feeling a little bit aggrieved by Will Power's exit of the pits, although we'll have a look at that later if we get a chance again. And of course Dario Franchitti even putting up a bit of a protest from the cab as well. Let's get back to the track then and rejoin our colleagues in Edmonton.
Alex Tagliani leads Elio Castroneves at Edmonton. The Izod IndyCar Series returns to ABC with the Honda Indy 200 in Mid-Ohio. Don't miss it Sunday, August 5th at 1 o'clock Eastern on ABC. Kind of a strange deal because that was originally an NBC race, but because of our extensive coverage of the Olympics, it's going to be on ABC. You'll hear, however, the NBC announcers. We look forward to that true cooperation between the broadcast partners, ABC and NBC, as far as the Izod IndyCar Series is concerned. On board with J.R. Hildebrand, and he's not having a real good day. In fact, he's back in 23rd, Robin Miller, but he did get some good news this past week.
He did, Bobby. The House of Representatives voted to allow the armed forces to continue to be involved in race car in sports sponsorship. And it's Dale Earnhardt Jr. in NASCAR, and it's obviously J.R. Hildebrand here with John Barnes' team at Panther Racing. And even though they're not having a very good day, that's probably the best news you could get, because the Army got pulled out of Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman. They pulled the rug out from those guys. So I say that's a pretty good deal for these guys.
Yep. Right ahead of him is Ed Carpenter. Now, Ed Carpenter, who's running in 20th position, has really not done all that bad this year. When you look at some of the statistics, he has gained 70 positions in the series so far this year. Gained 70 positions from start to finish, and there's been only one race that he has finished worse than he started. And he has completed all but 12 laps this year in the Izod IndyCar Series.
He's just gonna, well, you don't subtract though, right? I was gonna say he had to subtract one from his total, but no, it's just how many.
No. How many positions he gained from start to finish.
One car length back.
Hildebrand kind of dug himself a hole. That's why he's back there without having a caution. With that contact earlier in the race, they came in and fixed the nose, and he lost a ton of track position.
Okay, let's play strategy here. If you are Alex Tagliani, do you want to come in early and get rid of the black tires, which would then give Castroneves the lead, and you'd have to pass him back? Or do you want to stay out there till the last possible moment so that you and Castroneves stop at the same time? So
I would stay. If I'm Tagliani right now, as good as I'm running, I'm going to stay out as long as I can on those tires and keep the reds for a shorter distance. That's what I would do.
Marty?
Well, let's ask the guy in charge. So what do you do here, Brian? Do you stay on the blacks, or do you come in and get the reds as soon as you can?
Well, we got a plan. I'm not going to tell you.
Come on, Brian.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we got a plan.
Just like 3 or 4 of us listening. Don't worry.
Right. No, I mean, I think both the Firestone tires, the blacks and the reds, seem like they've been pretty similar this weekend. So, we know what we want to go on. Alex is doing a great job, and I figure you guys only usually show the cars the front 2 or 3. We want to get Barracuda Networks, all our sponsors on TV. So I'm glad we're up front for them.
How would you grade the job he's done today? He's controlled this entire race.
Yeah, he's very comfortable. He's calm on the radio. He is, like you said, he's controlling the pace, and we're just trying to manage the gap right now and try and get out of, the goal right now is just get out of this last pit stop with the lead and then let Alex take us home.
Well, what I got out of that is that Brian's being a nice guy, but he's not going to share his strategy with us.
Well, we know he has a plan.
Right, we just don't know what it is.
I think that, I agree with you, Wally. I think you don't want to pit on the early side. When you have an advantage and you have a gap, I think you want to stay out as long as you can. It'll shorten your stint on the reds, and he's not under really that heavy a pressure right now from Castro Neves.
Will Power has really been moving up. On the 34th lap, he was 9.9 seconds behind Tagliani. He passed Ryan Briscoe on the 45th lap, and now at lap 47, he is 4.6 seconds behind Alex Tagliani, the leader.
It's amazing, Bob. They told him about lap 43 or so, I would say. Tim Cindric said, go as hard as you want to go for the rest of this run. And you see that gap that has shrunk down so much for Will Power. Clearly, the car very fast. How much ground can they gain here on pit road? And can they wind up the day with a top 5? That would be amazing, Kevin.
Hinchcliffe just radioed in and said the fuel alarm came on. They told him, you're fine, don't worry about it. But then they immediately put tires out, and he's going to come in here in just a moment. I think they were originally waiting another couple of laps, but Hinchcliffe is coming down pit road now at 16 miles an hour. We're going to start to see everybody coming in here for the next 2 to 3 laps. Briscoe getting some of the better fuel mileage. He's still 4 laps away. Hinchcliffe is in his stall. They have the reds on, and they're going to put more reds on. He's been running in 10th position. He's going to see if he can get lucky with a yellow here and get back in and try to make up some track position before everybody else makes their final stop.
Get up on it.
He was running in 10th position when he came in for the stop.
Okay, you got Simona coming on you here.
Simona De Silvestro is the only car on the racetrack that has been lapped. James Jake's car is in pit lane and could be out of the race. So Simona De Silvestro in 24th, a lap behind. And here is Oriol Serbia, who of course...
they've got a problem. He stalled it. And they added, Wally, a ton of front wing.
Yeah.
He stalled it again.
He, of course, has the record, if you will, this year in gaining positions from start to finish. He has improved 98 positions, and it still won't go.
Man.
He's one of the drivers that took the grid penalty to change engines, but he is having problems getting off pit lane. They continue to run up front in the same order. Now here comes Simon Pagenaud and Mike Conway in for pit stops. Kevin?
Mike Conway's had a great day today. He's had a good weekend, except unfortunately for him for qualifying. They had a fuel pressure problem, so he qualified back in the back, but he's been running up near the front most of the weekend. Let's check in with Marty.
So Pagenaud will beat Conway off of pit lane. It'll come out right ahead of James Hinchcliffe.
So they split. So Conway's stop, obviously, that gap between. Now Hinchcliffe was able to slide in between.
Pagenaud 16th, Hinchcliffe 17th right now. With just 25 laps to go, we should be seeing everybody in for a pit stop before too much longer.
Oh! Now that surprises me. So Tagliani, wow, this is working right to Tagliani's favor right now.
3, 2,
Ray Hall also in for a stop.
Put on the brake.
And guys, Elio hitting pit road here a little bit earlier than they wanted to. This will be red sticker tires for Elio Castroneves. No changes to the car. John Erickson making the call to come early. Gain some time now on Alex Tagliani as he comes to pit road. Also coming to pit road, Justin Wilson running in the top 10 for much of that run. Sticker red tires for him as well. Half pound out of both rear tires for Justin Wilson. The car extremely loose, especially off the quarter for Wilson running in the top 10.
Rubens Barrichello is also on.
Rubens has gone from 7th to 15th. He's just not doing a good job on cold tires, fellas, and that's been the big problem all day.
Okay.
Now, seeing what Castroneves did, I think if I'm Alex Tagliani, if I am Brian Herta, I now hit the button and say, come in now.
Yeah.
Because you don't want Castroneves on fresh tires gaining that gap.
He forced their hand by coming in.
I think
So, yeah, that was a good move.
I don't care what his plan used to be. I think you pit now.
Elio comes out in 8th. And Tagliani is in for his second pit stop. Coming to the attention of the Brian Herta Team Barracuda team. And here is the stop. Let's see how it goes for Tagliani.
He hits pit road, Bob. It'll be red tires, but it'll be scuffed red tires for Alex Tagliani, except the right front, which is a sticker red tire for Alex Tagliani. We'll see where he cycles out with Elio Castroneves. A quick stop for the 98 bunch. Clean off pit road, and we'll see where he cycles with Elio.
And it's going to be close, but Elio, I believe, is going to have the advantage. Yes.
Oh, that's what those sticker reds do for you. Nice job, Castroneves and the Penske team.
So Tagliani comes out behind Castroneves, and Takuma Sato also behind Castroneves and Tagliani.
That was a nice stop for the team, but you saw when he went to pull away, there was just a slight hesitation. It's amazing how just that delay makes that bit of a difference when you're leaving pit lane.
Understand that Joseph Newgarden will have a drive-through because of a pit speed violation. Newgarden was in 19th. There's Will Power, who is currently the leader of the race. Let's see if he comes in this lap, and he will.
Watch your speed limit.
So that's the second lap that Will has led today.
Well, let's see what he did on his in-laps. If he did a couple fast in-laps,
hit our marks here.
He might be up there with Castroneves.
And guys, they've reminded Will Power to make sure he watches his speed limit. A couple of guys, as you guys just mentioned, getting caught for speeding. You see Elio Castroneves, left side of your screen, coming out of the last corner of the track for Will Power. It'll be no changes, all sticker red tires for Will, and 4 tires for Will Power. See where he cycles out with his teammate Elio Castroneves. A quick stop.
Careful on the blend. Don't go to the
and Power's leaving pit road, guys.
And he's going to come out behind Sato and in front of Rahal.
But boy, he made up a lot of ground.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of ground.
And the way he was moving up on the racetrack before this pit stop, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get to the front. He's currently in 4th position. 22 laps remaining in the Edmonton Indy. Elio, Tagliani, Sato, Power, and Rahal, the top 5 back after this.
A summer of festivals exclusive to Sky Arts. The biggest names in eclectic music descend on Cambridge for live coverage of the annual Folk Festival, featuring Irish legends Clannad, Mercury Prize nominee Seth Lakeman, Scottish hitmakers The Proclaimers, and Grammy Award-winning Nancy Griffith. From bluegrass to roots, get unparalleled access to festivals this summer. The Cambridge Folk Festival starts Friday at 5 and continues through the weekend from 6:30 on Sky Arts 1 HD.
ING Direct offers new customers a high savings rate with no penalties for withdrawals. Good news is better when there's no bad.
It may be shame that I feel it, but it makes me get off my bed, and then I watch my face in the mirror and try to recognize a friend. It's nice to see you again.
The new Peugeot 208. Let your body drive.
118 prepares to serve. Oh, a bit floaty. And that is going to make them very hard to beat.
MusicMagpie.co.uk is free and easy to use. Type the barcode of your unwanted CDs, DVDs and games, or scan with your webcam or smartphone and get an instant price. Ka-ching! Then use our free courier service or use our free post labels to pop them in the post. Lovely. Either way, you'll make loads more room and receive a cheque in next to no time. Easy. MusicMagpie.co.uk. Get cash for your old CDs, DVDs and games.
This month, get your eye test free when you spend £99. Vision Express, we'll see you right.
As a result of those pit stops, Takuma Sato has moved into second position. You saw it on our non-stop, but a very nice move by Sato on Tagliani.
Yeah, he just rolled it in there, and he carried a lot of speed on that pass. I'm surprised he didn't lock up the tires on that, but boy, that was very nice. And he is really fast right now. He's clicking off some very fast lap times.
Carpenter ahead of you.
Now, as far as the speed coming in, Tagliani won the way in, but Castroneves won the way out. And it appears as though your outlap is what is so critical, and that outlap on those fresh tires gave him the lead.
That is Ed Carpenter, of course, now between first and second. But look at Will Power. Yeah, he's now only 3 seconds behind in fourth spot.
Tag is on the push to pass right now, so he's trying to be a little bit defensive.
Oh, now Power hits it later. Whoa! And way up the inside.
Got it.
Over? Nope.
Man.
That was strong. That was strong.
Power is third and moving up.
It's going to be fun to watch the end of this race. And Tagliani tries to fight back, Bob, but they've told Will Power, go as hard as you want, as much as you want. Obviously, he's used a lot of push to pass, but he's trying to make his way to the front. At the beginning of the day, Tim Cindric told me we have 2 goals. Number 1, beat Ryan Hunter-Reay. They're doing that right now. And number 2, finish in the top 5 if we can. They may do better than that.
Yeah, man. Good racing so far all day today. No cautions. The race has been a furious pace. Castroneves right now leading Sato and Will Power as he goes around the lap car of Ed Carpenter. Back in a moment.
Helio Castroneves then, looking like he's got a fast car and got plenty of push to pass left, Charles.
Yeah, the last graphic I saw said he had 112 seconds, which was far more than anybody else. But what a great period of racing we just had there. Helio jumping Tagliani for the lead, and then Sato passing Tagliani too, and Power. It's been great stuff. There's more going on right now.
Let's talk about Sato very quickly, Jay, if I may, as this pass gets itself done around the outside.
It's Rahal, isn't it, on Tagliani?
I'll tell you what, Tag's just not got the tyres or something for this, has he? Because that just looked like, you don't drop it across the nose of somebody from the outside like that, normally.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. He's looked really strong all race, so it's a shame for
Tagliani and for Brian Herter, that's for sure. Now let's talk about Sato, because first of all he dispensed with Dario Franchitti. We saw him go past him, and there's obviously a bit of form going on there from the past, if only you think back to Indianapolis. But Sato looks like he has got a very fast car. Very fast, yeah. He's I'd like to see him and Castroneves battle it out for the lead towards the end. I'm sure that'll get interesting. I think we might be seeing a bit of that.
Certainly could.
Who else? I mean, Scott Dixon as well. I mean, he's been working his way from a lowly position after getting penalised for that engine change. He's on his 6th engine. They're only allowed 5 for this year. That's something that's going to run, and we're going to talk about, I'm sure, as the rounds unfold. Does that mean he gets a 10-spot penalty at every round from now on in?
No, I think you just serve it once after that. But we also saw him have that ECU problem, and it's amazing to think Ganassi, such a slick, well-oiled machine, they seem to have all these little niggling problems. They're not blowing an engine up. We heard about Darry having to reset his steering wheel because his push-to-pass wasn't working. You just don't expect it from these guys.
Tagliani went out on scrubbed reds. I made a note of that a minute ago, and that might be his problem at the moment. Most of the other top guys are on sticker reds, which is important, Jay.
Yeah, it's definitely, when they were talking earlier about Castroneves saying he wanted to keep those sticker reds for his last stint. They obviously done their homework there, because it's paid off tremendously for him.
So it's a blast to the flag now then. This is the final section of this. We're on lap 60 just about of the 75. This is going to be a straight sprint to the flag. That man leads, Helio Castroneves. Let's rejoin our commentators.
Jim, before this one is over, namely Sato and Power.
Yeah, well, Power, when he caught slower time, when he got on Carpenter was in a position to be able to get out of the way for Power. But the problem was that tight right-hander that was coming up, he couldn't stay out of the way for tagging those guys. See, Carpenter goes over the side here. Power gets by, but he pulls in front of Tag, and watch how Power just gaps Tag and Rahal. That was costly for those guys, just catching traffic in the wrong place. There's a good shot off the Power's car. I mean, that's 2.5 seconds. That's a ton on the racetrack.
Well, and guys, to add to the drama a little bit for Will Power, who clearly has the fastest car, if he does get a caution, could win this race. They're not sure they can make it all the way on fuel. They did not get the fuel tank full when he pitted last time. Tim Cindric told me we didn't really need to. I said, do you think you can make it all the way to the end on fuel? He said, we think so.
Wow. That's something we'll certainly keep an eye on here before this one's over.
Hey, Marty, I mean, when you say they don't think they got it, what do you think they were a second or 2 seconds maybe early on the hose? Or?
Well, probably, Wally. It never vented back up the hose, so they don't know for sure if they got it full. They don't think that they did. And again, they didn't need to get it completely full, but Tim Cindric does think they have enough fuel to make it to the end. It's going to be close, though.
Because I think we commented how much ground Power made on that pit stop, and a lot of times, sometimes if you don't get all the fuel in, that's why the pit stops are so good.
15 to go, 15.
And what you want to do is you want to go towards the end of the window, and then it becomes a time stop, not a fill stop. So you watch the stopwatch, you pull, but like you say, if you don't see the fuel in the vent hose, you know you're not full. You go, well, we stopped as long as we were supposed to. It was on the stopwatch, but do we have what we want?
Yeah. Boy, Sato can close in on Elio at the end of the straightaway. They're going into one. Here he is.
I think Sato sees red right now.
Yep.
I mean, you know, he is driving. He's getting into the corners really well under braking. I think that's where he's the strongest right now. And let's see. But Castroneves has a lot more push-to-pass time than
But they've
Sato.
told Castroneves not to use it. We heard Castroneves on the radio say, am I okay to use push-to-pass? And they said negative. So they don't want him to use it because he also had a quick pit stop. They may have also done a time stop for Castroneves.
I don't care what they want. If Sato starts to pull up on me, I'm laying on that button.
Push to pass, push to pass.
There you go. Man, he
So
is
now,
right there.
now he's allowed to use it.
Let's watch him down the straightaway and into turn one. If Sato will make a move.
I think Sato got, you know, he kind of blew that corner just a little bit. He got in there deep and almost hit Castroneves. So I don't think he's close enough this lap. But look how he gets in under braking. I mean, he is smoking it down in the corners.
Back to slot one.
And look at Power back there in third, who's catching up. He's now less than 3 seconds behind.
And for all I know, maybe Sato's brakes are not working very well. I'm saying he's going in deep, but maybe that's not.
Well,
maybe he's having a problem.
But he's getting it turned. If you can get in that deep and still get it turned, I think that's good.
Sato's team owner, Bobby Rahal, competed in his first professional race at Edmonton International Speedway in May of 1975, qualifying in the Players Canadian Formula Atlantic Series. All right, Kevin.
Bobby, he's talking on the radio to Takuma right now. Does he have anything for Elio down the stretch here?
Well, I think we're pretty quick. You know, Helio's going to make it tough. You know, he starts blocking when he picks up his rental car at the airport. So it'll be tough, but I think we got the pace. We'll see.
All right, thank you. And he warned Takuma of Elio's perceived blocking tendencies just a little while ago. Also, Elio has more push to pass, so Takuma was told to be somewhat conservative with that to make sure you have some at the end.
I'm not sure he needs it. If he can get close enough to Castroneves under the braking zone, look at how far he goes in there. I mean, that's how you pass people.
Traffic.
J.R. Hildebrand is being lapped. He's in 21st position, so there are 20 cars on the lead.
And did a fantastic job in not holding up either driver. It's one thing to let the leader go by, but you have to be fair and equal, and he was.
Bobby Rahall's other team, the BMW team, is competing at Mosport in Canada also on this day. But he's having a great day with Takuma Sato here at Edmonton, running in second position behind Helio Castroneves. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Meet the Morgans. Like a lot of families, they care about the environment and donate to Sky Rainforest Rescue every month. Their better effect came when they realised every donation was doubled by Sky, so their money had twice the impact. Which means Sky and WWF could continue to work together to help protect the Amazon rainforest, helping to save 1 billion trees. Just one of the many things we can do together if we all believe in better. Donate at sky.com/rainforest rescue.
Oi, where are you? Again? I mean... Oh, funny, yeah!
Mr. Clark, back again.
Yes.
Whatever happens, we'll see you get 2 for 1 on a stunning range of Armani glasses. Vision Express, we'll see you right.
Get double savings in the DFS summer sale. With prices cut twice and 4 years interest-free credit, everyone wins. Double savings must end soon. DFS.
There's a place, especially for you, where you can discover something new in one corner and the latest styles in the next. With over 30 million products, you'll always find what you want. eBay, your shopping universe.
A little more than 10 laps to go here in the Edmonton Indy. It's Helio Castroneves leading Takuma Sato. Power dropping back now is more than 5 seconds behind Castroneves as we take a look at what's happened so far here on this Sunday afternoon.
And Bob, of course, it started wild right from the front. Dario Franchitti gets a good start. Brian Briscoe does not. And taking that second position aggressively was Alex Tagliani. They get all through clean. Some of the driving, there was contact. That was that epic battle we saw between Charlie Kimball and Marco Andretti. Scott Dixon taking advantage of that. And here was the chop. At least he thought it was a chop. Ryan Hunter-Reay, race control did not agree. They felt as though Will Power was A-OK there. Then the battle between Dario Franchitti. This is, of course, Alex Tagliani slotting himself into the lead, and then Castroneves takes advantage with a super aggressive move on the red side while Bridgestone's challenging for the lead. Now, this is where Tagliani lost it in the pits because Helio Castroneves pitted 1 lap early, had an awesome outlap, and look at Sato, just rolls the car, as Wally was saying, into the corner, takes his foot off the brake, an aggressive move for Power, making his way through. Last Tagliani, who was thinking, man, I was pretty sure I had this thing in the bag, and now I've slid back, and I think now, I agree with you, Bob, we were talking during the break, Takuma Sato at some point is going to go for it. That's your prediction, right?
I'm remembering a couple of races this year, and Sato will go for it if he has half a chance. Not even that, a quarter of a chance. Certainly remember Indianapolis.
So you're bugging him.
Yeah, you sure are.
You're bugging him. That's what you want to hear. I'm bugging him. But he's working really hard. You see him slither on the braking area there?
And that's the thing where I think Castroneves is at his best is in turn 13, which is making it tough for Sato to get close enough to try to make a braking pass down here in 1.
9 laps remaining.
Wow.
There's Power back there in 3rd spot with Graham Rahal right behind him. And then the lap car, J.R. Hildebrand, before we get back to Tagliani, who's 5th. And Dario Franchitti, who started from pole, is in 6th position. Ryan Hunter-Reay, the points leader, is in 8th. And Scott Dixon, despite the fact that the engine quit on him for a short period of time, has moved back up into the top 10. He is in 10th position. And Mike Conway, who started at the back of the field, Wally, you said to keep a track of him, and he has moved up to 11th position for A.J. Foyt.
And think about, we have not had a caution all day long.
That's right.
So he did that the hard way.
Yep. And there are the points as they stand. Elio now 21 behind in 2nd position, and Will Power down to 3rd.
Now you talk about not having had a caution. This is one of the most physically demanding courses they've had all year. These guys, it's hot today. Certainly not like some of the Midwest, but it's pretty hot, and they have been just slamming these cars. These guys are going to be wrung out.
Corner a little bit at a time.
This race has never been run caution-free. There was one caution in 2009, but never a caution-free race.
These guys have not used, neither one of these two front guys have even touched the push to pass yet for the last 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, so 71 seconds for Castroneves, 55 for Sato. Left on the push to pass. There it is on top of the screen. Wow. For a moment there, I thought that Castroneves was all of a sudden getting some more pace and Sato was struggling, and now he's right back again. Marty?
Guys, you think about all the times for Elio Castroneves, he's come so close here at Edmonton. The one time where he was called for blocking, which he obviously disagreed with. He's finished 2nd here 3 times. This is a win that he desperately wants. On the radio, he told John Erickson, all I want from you is when to use my push to pass. That's it. That's all Elio wants from Erickson, when to use that push to pass. But Wally, as you mentioned right there, that's where he's so good, and that's so helpful for every run down this long straightaway.
I thought Sato was in position right there because that's the closest he's been to Castroneves, but Sato got a little bit loose getting off that corner, and he lost that little bit.
And Elio used the push defensively.
Yeah, well, Sato used it first, and then he got a radio call, and then they swapped. So as soon as Sato realized, this one's not going to work out, Castroneves got the radio call, pow, he's on the button. So they're saying, he's on it behind you, get on it now.
Got some traffic coming up.
We've heard a little bit of Bobby Rahal's communication with Takuma Sato. He really coaches him on the radio, cheerleading much of the way to keep his confidence up and also make sure that he's doing exactly what he wants him to do. He's telling him, as we heard, just a little bit every corner. He's also saying, just focus on Elio, focus forward, make sure you get your braking points, and see if we can get a good result out of this.
Sato's really good through this part of the section. The rough part of the racetrack is where Sato makes up his ground. He's real close to it right now. Like I said, he'll get to the tail if he can to Castroneves' tail, but he just can't get through 13 as well.
John Erickson told him use the push to pass on this lap once again, so we'll see if it helps right here, Wally.
Castroneves is on it. The push to pass, that is, and so is Sato.
That's why he's gaining on you to 13.
Now Sato needs to disengage and save some.
About the same amount.
6 laps to go.
Oh, man, he's rolling in there.
Whoa!
Wow.
Turn 5 is where it may have. That's the place we've seen Sato. That's coming up now. He's not close enough this lap, but that's where he might try it.
Yeah, if he can just get off the 13 straight without getting the car loose, it may make the difference.
Here's 5.
Sato, that is.
What was Elio saying about the straightaway? Did you catch that?
That was Elio saying on the radio, you guys have got to help me. I'm not worried about the corners. I'm worried about the straightaway. Tell me where to use the push to pass.
Well, yeah, look in that mirror.
Yeah,
I would use it.
If you see something blue and white closing
Getting
in quickly,
bigger, yeah.
hit the yellow button on the steering wheel.
Use your push to pass right now. Okay, he's got 56 seconds left. We've got 33, so he's got a little bit more. Let's save it to the last couple laps.
Okay, see, you can roll it in. If he could just straight. That was a good corner right there.
Yeah. I say Sato wants to stay close and try him in turn 5.
5 laps to go.
Sato on the button again.
I think he should disengage it. I think he should save it. There he goes. I think he should go after it in turn 5. He's close enough. I think right now he needs to hammer it and do one of his classic bonsai moves into turn number 5.
Save our button for here for a little bit. Helio's on it.
He lost 2 and 3 that time.
He makes up his ground on the rough part of the racetrack, but there's not an opportunity for him to really make a pass on that end of the track.
Right up ahead of you.
This is where he gains on him.
All right. Here's turn 11. Right there, and coming up to 12 now, and the straightaway.
Now, traffic could, like I say, that always can play a factor.
Pass right now.
That's Serbia.
Okay, he told Castroneves to hit it now.
A little bit every corner, 4 to go. Go this time. Nice work. Nice work.
Not as close that time into one.
Yes, that only has 19 seconds of it left. Castroneves has 41 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a bet. You know, obviously Castroneves is in a pretty good spot right now, having twice as much.
Remember what happened in 2010 here at Edmonton? Elio Castroneves, I think you could say, was just a little unhappy. He was called for blocking. Here it is.
When you go side by side like that with your teammate, and the guy just literally just take it away from you, it's just absurd.
Well, the attitude may be a little different here in a few laps, as he has the lead, but he's being hounded by Takuma Sato.
19, so he's got to save some for the last lap or 2.
I think you're right, John. Sato's going to have to make a bonsai at this point because he's not going to be able to do it with the push to pass.
No.
3 laps to go. We only have 1 push left. Helio's got 4, so you got to save it.
Oh, boy. Been concentrating on the battle for the lead, which has been a good one for the last several laps, and it appears it's going to go right down to the checkered flag. Ryan Hunter-Reay just passed Ryan Briscoe for 7th position. Hunter-Reay up to 7th. And here's that pass. Down the front stretch.
All right, one thing we haven't talked about
let's wait for the last lap.
Is the kind of pressure that Castroneves is under right now. In that I don't think Castroneves has put a wheel wrong all race, but that goes through your mind. There's been no caution. You've been working hard. You're exhausted. And he continues to use push to pass because he can, Kevin.
You're doing a great job. Just keep it up, bring it home.
There's Bobby. And just a moment ago, Bobby Rahal told Takuma Sato that you have 2 pushes left, so let's save them both for the last lap.
Elio is on the button defensively, knowing that Takuma doesn't have as many as he does.
And remember the start of the race, Castroneves did not use it at all. We made a report that it was he and Serbia, I believe, were the only 2 early on who had never touched it, and that is paying dividends right now.
They'll come down for the white flag this time.
Boy, is he feeling the pressure. He knows one little miscue, catch a curve, get a little bit squirrely, and he's going to have Sato right on top of him.
Winner at St. Pete earlier this year, Castroneves.
Okay, you've got one activation left.
Sato's just looking for that opening. Yeah. If he can just roll in there and force the issue.
Okay, well, here we go.
This is going to be it.
Coming down for the white flag. One more lap to go, and Takuma's going to have to get it done in the next 2.2 miles.
Last lap, bring it home, bring it home.
White flag.
Sato never even used it on the straightaway.
They told him he only had one to go. So he wants to, I think he could get away with 2 pushes myself, because you could deactivate it and you get a full length of your timer if you even have 1 second left the last time you hit it. But they told him on the radio, Taku, you have only 1 push, so he's saving that here for the final stages of this lap.
But both of them had just driven a great race. In fact, this has been a very entertaining afternoon. A lot of passing, no cautions. It's been green from start to hopefully finish here in just a few seconds. If Sato is going to do it, he's going to have to do it very, very quickly.
Coming around this corner.
Here's turn 12 down the straightaway. Let's see if Takuma can close in.
Both on it.
Both on it, yep. But not close enough to make a move.
Sato just used his timer up.
And so, Elio will come off of turn number 13. 3 times a bridesmaid, but never a bride until today. But Elio Castroneves wins the Edmonton Indy. He thought he had won in 2010. This time there was no denying. Castroneves beats Sato, Power, Rahal. Tagliani is going to come down and finish in 5th position. There he crosses the line. Dario Franchitti's right behind him. Here comes Ryan Hunter-Reay. He will finish in 7th spot. 8th is Briscoe. 9th is Wilson, and Dixon is in 10th position. Mike Conway finishes 11th. Here's Hinchcliffe in 12th. Then comes Kimball, Barrichello, Pagano. Look at this, Elio, Spider-Man is back. Wow, that didn't take long.
He now has more points than his teammate Will Power.
Yeah, great job, guys. Great job.
Go to Mid-Ohio with Elio 23 behind Ryan Hunter-Reay in the championship, and Power 3rd, 26 behind. Here's Marty with John Erickson.
Well, I think his nerves have finally calmed down. Talk about that call, Erickson, to come in 2 laps earlier than everyone else and put on those reds.
Well, we wanted to stay out of Hunter-Reay's way. The way it was working out, they were coming with us. We didn't want him coming across our bow. It was easier to just come a lap early. Worked out good.
It did work out pretty well. How nerve-wracking were those final few laps? So Elio's saying, tell me when to use push to pass.
Sure, yeah, I'm not sure he was understanding when I was telling him push to pass. He finally got it because Sato was hitting it here off of 12. So once we got him doing that, he was good, but that was good.
All right, go celebrate with the team, John.
Appreciate it.
All right, Elio Castroneves in victory lane. I'm sure we'll see a fence climb in a moment, Bob.
His 27th career win, his 2nd this year, the other one coming at St. Pete, his 1st career win here at Edmonton. By the way, Simon Pagano spun out on the last lap. He finished in 20th position. But Elio Castroneves now makes his way toward victory lane, and we will be back to talk with him in just a moment at the Edmonton Indy.
Watch the biggest names in golf go face-to-face this year on Sky Sports.
I don't want sob stories. Just get here on time.
What did he say? Push.
3 miles. You're having a laugh.
Trev, out. I definitely said double ham. I've had it.
Jets, you saying what I'm saying? Already sipping it. Come on!
First request of the night.
Sky's top-ranking free iPhone betting app just got better, and we're giving you £10 completely free to try it out. Quick and easy bet placements, including accumulators and now scorecasts. The Sky Bet app, available now on iPhone, iPad and Android. Try it today and we'll give you a completely free £10 bet, no deposit required. Download from the App Store or go to skybet.com now.
To collect your first, second, third, fourth, whoopsie, Mirka toy, buy car or home insurance or get credit card, so compare the market.com. Simples.
And back in Edmonton, where Elio Castroneves has already climbed from the race car, ready to spray some champagne. And as you said, don't shake me. That's what I was going to say. You said we won for the second time. What happened to the first win here?
Well, you know what happened. I'm not going to go there. But first of all, I want to thank Penske Truck Rental. You know, what a great group of guys. Shelby Power, AAA, and Verizon, man. Those guys are, and SKF as well. Those guys are incredible to keep me supporting. And these guys here, come on, camera, it's not all about me. It's about these guys. They are awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
There's all the fellas that helped you get a win. Let's talk about the fellas who helped you get a win. John Ericsson's call to come 2 laps earlier than tags. How big was that?
I was a little concerned, to be honest, because, man, I got to make a big outlap. And I was so focused. And I forgot, actually, to use the push to pass, which you couldn't make a little bit comfortable. But in the end, what a great strategy. Ron Rosiski, John Ericsson, man, I believe you. If you believe me, man, it was awesome. So I'm so happy. Thank you.
How about the battle with Takuma there at the end? I know that was A, stressful, but B, probably fun, wasn't it?
You know, to be honest, in those circumstances, for me, it's actually best, because when the guy is in your gearbox, it bring the best out of me, so you can't miss concentration. You have to be on every step of the way, like every braking point, every downshift. So for me, I was like, come on, Takuma, keep it over here. As long as I have this straightaway cover, I'll be fine. And it was a great strategy.
I just wish you were a little more animated when you won racing.
And exactly. I mean, what can I say? Sorry about that, but guys, I'm so happy.
You started shaking me at the beginning of the interview. They shakes the microphone at the end. I think Elio Castroneves, Bob, a little happy to be in Victor Lane. What do you think?
I would say you are right. Always fun when Elio wins. Kevin is with second place finisher.
And Bob, Takuma Sato, just watched that replay of that pit exit there. You were racing with Tagliani. Elio beat everybody cycling through. You were that close.
It was so close. I think the Penske team did an outstanding job for the pit stop, but he beat it a little bit earlier than us, and kept coming on the red tire, and Tagliani and I pitted together, coming out just literally 1 second. It was a very close.
Really impressive start to this race. You grabbed positions right at the beginning, at the end, chasing Elio. Was there ever a point where you seriously considered trying to dive in?
Well, I could see he's doing a lot of fuel saving, because we didn't have a yellow today, that we had to do a fuel saving as well as everybody else. But I could see also at this moment, Elio sometimes missed apex and a little bit struggling. I was also sliding, but I used the push to pass in the right way, and I dive into the inside, and this time there was a plenty of room.
All right, you now have finished the last 3. You've got your second podium. Are you on the right path with this team now?
I think so. I mean, well, I'm absolutely happy with the Ray Letterman Riding and team. Did an outstanding job, really. After a couple of difficult races in Indy, and we come back in strong and showing determination, and I'm so happy with the boys and happy with myself.
Great drive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Second for Takuma Sato, his best finish in IndyCar, Bob.
Yeah, outstanding afternoon for Takuma Sato. That's a happy team, in addition to Elio and the Team Penske, who emerge as the winners. Now, we mentioned the 77 car, Simon Pagenaud. He was, he was spun on the last lap. Charlie Kimball has been given a 37-second penalty because of that. Avoidable contact, 30-second penalty for Charlie Kimball. And here's another angle of it. Wow. All right, let's talk to Power now. Here's Marty.
Yep, we're kind of on the way to victory lane. Let's grab Will. And beginning of the day, if I'd have told you to finish third, would you have taken that?
Absolutely, yeah, I would have taken that. Yeah, awesome day. Very good day. Past cars, it's a lot of fun. But Elio did a good job. Definitely tightening up the championship. But yeah, just great to have a good day with the Verizon car again. We haven't had that for a long time. So very enjoyable and a tough race.
At the end there, were you a little worried about fuel because Tim had told you, I don't know, we got it all the way full?
Well, we went longer than anyone, so if we were in trouble, everyone else was too. So, Tim was just saying, just be mindful of it. If you have to use it, but if not, you may as well save.
If you can remember the one time where you came off pit road right in front of Ryan Hunter-Reay, he was adamant that should have been a penalty for you. Do you agree with that?
Well, I thought in the drivers' meeting they said, if you're not cutting someone off, you can take the apex. And I thought I was in front of him because I didn't see him. But, of course, I guess if I was in his position, I would scream for a penalty too because it's good for points, right? But, yeah, if that was the case, my mistake.
Just an incredible day for Will Power, though. 17th to 3rd. Bob?
Let's take a look at that again when Will came out of the pits right ahead of Ryan.
And I think by the technical description, he was ahead of Ryan Hunter-Reay. And I agree with exactly what he's saying. If I was Ryan Hunter-Reay, I'd be on the button screaming for a penalty as well. But I think that he slid in just within the parameters of the law.
Here's a fourth-place finisher, Graham Rahal, with Kevin.
Yeah, another guy that had a good day today. You were able to move up some positions, starting in 8th. What kind of day did you have?
Yeah, it was really good. I'm, really proud of the Midas guys. We, we worked really hard this weekend. We started the weekend hot. We kind of fell off there a little bit, and we finished hot. So that's what we want to do. And at this point in the season, to get a top 5 and to just get a lot of points, that's what we need. I mean, we're close to the top 10. We're probably in it now, but we're also very close to being 20th. That's how tight the points are. So it means a lot to us, and I'm proud of the guys for sticking with it. We've had a very up and down season, but get another top 5 means the world to us right now.
It's the second race we've had this push to pass with turbocharged engines. What kind of boost are you feeling? What kind of difference does it make?
I didn't feel it quite as much as say Toronto, but certainly when I passed those guys on the outside, if I didn't have push to pass, there's no way I was completing it. So, I think it's a really good thing for the sport, and it's a really good thing at a circuit like this. Mid-Ohio is going to be another one where it's really good, and I'm just looking forward to get back racing in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he gets to head back home. His home track, Mid-Ohio, Bob.
That is right. Well, it's a good day for Bobby Rahal, whose driver finishes second, and his son finishes in 4th position, Bobby and Graham Rahal. We'll be back with more interviews post-race after these messages. Stay with us.
And we'll get straight back to them as soon as we can. With me here, Jay and, of course, Charles. Let's talk about that push-to-pass business to start with. I mean, we've had a couple of tweets recently. Dan Brown just put one in saying push-to-pass better than KERS, in his opinion. Does seem to be, in Formula One, a hell of a complicated system when you can have one like that works pretty well.
Yeah, it's a very expensive system to have as well, but it's kind of all the rage, isn't it, to have hybrids and things like that, whereas the Americans just seem to want something that's a nice, easy system that helps overtaking. And then we saw Helio use it to perfection. Okay, he had to ask his team to tell him when to use it, but he used it to its best ability today.
Chevrolet and Helio, Honda and Taku look pretty evenly matched, but not as even as some of you drivers would like it to be, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think I haven't driven for Honda and Chevy and been in the seat, but from what I've seen and talking to the other guys, the other drivers and stuff, with the different turbos, Chevy being the twin turbo and Honda having the single turbo, definitely the power's in different places, but so far I think it's not going too bad.
Taku showed a fair amount of decorum, didn't he, really, Takuma? I mean, normally we'd expect that. They kept saying a bonsai lap. I think he's gone into horticulture or something. But I mean, he wasn't growing trees. It was normally his determination to get past. But he seemed to take the discretionary route this week.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't actually have one real big lunge at one point.
He was close.
He had some. He was very good under braking, just going into that last corner. But I think that the main thing at the end of the day was that advantage that Helio had with the amount of push to pass he had left, and he did such a fantastic job of managing that. And Taku then had to do laps with no push to pass at all, and that meant he wasn't getting the gain that he needed to get on terms with him.
Well, the cars, of course, have now come down onto pit road, and we can go pretty much back to the track and rejoin our colleagues as they line them all up for more interviews.
The 2012 edition of the Edmonton Indy is history. Helio Castroneves has won the race by about 0.8 of a second over Takuma Sato. The driver who led the most laps, 49, Alex Tagliani. He's with Kevin.
This guy was very entertaining and from his fellow countrymen today. Let's talk about the start of this race from 4th to 2nd, the first lap, and then you got the lead by the time you got to the line before we finished lap 1.
Yeah, I mean, on the opening lap, I thought that the Barracuda car was pretty competitive, so it was our chance to try to get in the lead and try to see if we can control the race. And yeah, during the opening lap and pretty much the first half of the race, our car was very strong on saving fuel. We could roll speed. We didn't hurt the tire. And I mean, we just missed at the end. When we start pushing and we turn everybody loose, we were hurting the tires a bit more, and we didn't have the 3/10 we needed, the pace that the guys were running up front. But nevertheless, you know, a fantastic job for the whole Barracuda crew and Bowers and Wilkins, all their support. So we're very pleased.
It's a good result. 5th is your best finish of the season, but when you're leading a race halfway through and even gapping a little bit, what are the emotions after a race when at one point I'm sure you felt like this might be our day again?
Yeah, I'm still very proud of the team. I think you know, we're learning. It was our 3rd Firestone 5-6 in qualifying in a row. We're pounding. We're there every single race. We just have to put it all together. I mean, this race will make us learn, you know, how we need to get the car towards the end. Our second set of red tires were old, and maybe that was where we got hurt a bit. But you know, it was definitely a good race for the whole Barracuda crew.
All right, good run, and we'll see. I think you're going to the Olympics with Scott Dixon and Emma, right? So we'll look forward to that on NBC as well. Good run for Alex Tagliani. Let's check in now with Marty Snyder.
Well, Ryan Hunter-Reay in a bit of a hurry to get to Bo Barfield. Your take on what happened with you and Will Power there when he came off pit road?
Oh, I mean, in the driver's meeting, it was that you absolutely cannot come across the line and impede another car's progress on the racetrack. And Justin Wilson actually specifically asked that question, so we're a little confused on it. But I'm not going to, you know, piss and moan about that. We had a good solid race, and we just needed some yellows. We needed something to go our way. We didn't get it. It's unfortunate because I think we could have, had we had a yellow, I think on a restart I could have made up a couple spots. But you know, I had a good start and just got to saving fuel and hitting my marks, hitting my numbers, and had good stops. It's just one of those days, you know. We came home 7th and it wasn't very spectacular, but congratulations to Helio and Team Penske on the win. This is going to be a tough fight to the end, I guarantee you that.
At the time, though, you did feel like it was a penalty for Will, correct?
Oh, yeah, I expected it to be coming. I expected him to be pulling off, but it didn't happen, so I'll go talk to Bo about it, and we'll figure it out.
All right, overall, though, assess the day. You feel like it was an okay day points-wise. You didn't lose too much.
Yeah, we didn't lose too much, I guess. You finish in 7th when 2 guys you're fighting with in the championship finish on the podium is not very satisfying. But, you know, we have a lot of racing to go. We need to be strong across the board. And this was definitely a bit of a bruise today, but didn't knock us down by any means.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, 7th.
Yeah, and still the points leader by 23 over the winner of the race, Helio Castroneves. Here are the top 10, Sato 2nd, then Power. Rahal and Tagliani were 4th and 5th, 6th through 10, Franchitti, Hunter-Reay, Briscoe, Wilson, and Dixon. Helio ties Johnny Rutherford for 12th in the all-time winner standings with win number 27. We'll be right back.
And while our colleagues are away, you come back to us. Charles Bradley, Jay Howard here in the studio with me. Let's talk about Ryan Hunter-Reay. I mean, he looked absolutely drained. I mean, this racetrack is obviously quite a tough one to drive, but he looked tired at the end of that, which is unusual for an athlete.
Yeah, he did. He definitely looked tired, and you know, no yellows throughout the whole race, I'm sure, played a part of that. But yeah, maybe he needs to go lift some weights and get a little stronger.
The only significant yellow was, of course, Team Penske and Helio Castroneves. Spider-Man as he's known. A superb drive, Charles, from him all the way through. He looked calm all the way through the race. The car looked good on the racetrack, albeit a little bit stiff from where we were sat, but not a foot wrong.
Yeah, he did the overtakes when he had to. Some good passes, certainly on Dario Franchitti. That was key at that time of the race. Great strategy as well, coming in that lap earlier than Tagliani and Sato. Really good outlap. We saw the numbers, and that was kind of the key to the race. The fact he had those thicker reds on the final set, and as we said before, the push to pass management was top draw.
Great combination of strategy from the team and from the driver, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, that's Team Penske, right? They're just phenomenal at that, and for so many years you watch Penske and Ganassi, you see those guys, they're not looking so good, and then all of a sudden there they are, and you see Will Power, coming in third, right? And again, they're just very, very good at it. Outstanding drive from
Helio Castroneves. Now it's a situation where everyone's closing in on Ryan Hunter-Reay. His 7th place has made that slightly more tenuous. 50 points for a win, of course, get lap points as well, which I think Tagliani got the most laps today, so he will have picked up the extra points.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from Hunter-Reay's point of view, he was 11th on the grid, so 7th wasn't a bad result, but Power 3rd from 17th.
Need to go across to the track.
Throughout the day, but a lot better than what ultimately ended up with 20th Charlie Kimball penalized on the last lap. What was your vantage point?
Well, I wish you can see the replay. He just T-balled me in mid-corner, so I couldn't make the corner, and just dive bomb in there and use my side pod to make the corner. So unfortunately, we're playing a championship here, so it's a shame that he didn't think smarter and didn't let me alone fighting for a 12th position.
Here, I think we might see a look at it. This is from your in-car.
There you go. So, yeah. And then I stalled, so anyway. But biggest issue, I mean, we had a great car, and unfortunately we had some straight line speed problems, so all the way through. And that's why we went backwards. Otherwise, I think the team did a good job. We really had a good car in the race.
Did you fear your engine was shutting off or losing some power at some point?
Well, we've got to analyze it and see what it is. But, I felt I definitely I couldn't keep up. Everyone was pushed to pass in the straight. So that was the biggest issue. But we'll come back stronger and hopefully get a win before the end.
Yeah, I think a lot of us still feel that Simon is one of those that has a great chance of becoming this year's one of their first-time winners. Marty?
Well, Justin Wilson told me Friday, he said, I just want to finish where we race. See, I guess you did that today, but you feel like the results were, what, okay?
Yeah, I was hoping we'd be a little bit quicker and, challenge those guys ahead, but ultimately we were just sliding around a little bit loose in places, but, I think a reasonable recovery, especially after this morning's warm-up. We're pulling our hair out after that, but, everyone at Delcoin Racing's worked so hard, so just, pleased to get a solid result in, and hopefully, we'll take the Sonny's Barbecue car to Mid-Ohio and practice this week and get ready for the race next week.
9th is not too bad on a day where you had a very, very loose race car. I know you're fighting that, especially at the end of runs. Let's talk about going back to Mid-Ohio. Any oddity there, because that's where you got hurt last year? Any strangeness going back there?
Not really. I'm not too concerned about it. I'm thinking forwards, and it was a pretty freak accident, so I don't expect that to happen again.
Sure.
And really, just it's a track I like. I enjoy driving it, and we'll tackle that and hopefully get a good balance there. I want to win it.
You also told me you went back to a track when you were 16 one time, and finished 3rd the next time after you got hurt?
Yeah, when I was first started racing cars, I hit the wall at Brands Hatch. I broke my ankle, my wrist, and cut my leg open, and managed to put some casts on and race there 3 weeks later and finish 3rd. So, I'm not dwelling on it. I'm thinking ahead, and I don't really see it as a problem. It was a pretty freak thing, and even Pagano in my car went off exactly the same spot the next day and was fine once they filled that in. So it's just one of those things.
All right, for Justin Wilson, a nice top 10 finish. Finished where he ran, what he wanted exactly out of the day, Bob.
And gained 1 position in the point standings to 12th. Don't forget the upcoming schedule, August 5th on ABC, the Mid-Ohio race. Then we'll go to Sonoma, California, Baltimore, Maryland, and Fontana, California for the finale. And we'll have more from here in Edmonton when we continue. Helio Castroneves is the winner.
And of course, we'll be live with all of those IndyCar races right to the end of the season. Season's coming to an end a little bit sooner than we thought. Should have been 16 rounds. It's only going to be 15 now. Mid-Ohio, though, Jay, great racetrack.
It is a good track, yeah, I love that place. Raced there back in USF 2000 days when I was making my way through, and it's a great track.
Looking forward to some great racing. I say it just about every time, and I'm slightly shocked that we've got this far into the season where I've not had to break that up, but the DW12, the Dan Wheldon 12 Dallara, has absolutely given us great racing just about every single time we've watched it on the racetrack. And after the disastrous testing in winter, who'd have thought it?
Yeah, pre-season was absolutely awful. The car was, the weight balance was all wrong, the aero balance was all wrong, and it took a lot of hard work to get that right. But they've changed that all around. It looks a little bit unconventional, you know. If you've watched the Formula One race at Hockenheim today, you'll see it looks very strange compared to a Formula One car, say. But yeah, the racing's been fantastic. Oval, big oval, short oval, road course, street course. It's done a lot. I think it's a big tribute to Dallara and obviously the input from Dan testing it in the first place.
Jay, I thought this was the round. I mean, I know he's only finished third, so it's been a pretty good result for Will Power anyway, but I thought this would be the one where he would start to make inroads into the lead. Instead, it's his teammate who now finds himself right up there, Elio, and chasing the slightly unhappy Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Yeah, I think, it's like I say, this championship this year, there's not been anyone that's, you wouldn't, if you're a betting man, you wouldn't want to bet on anyone at this point. It changes from week to week, and it's great for fans, great for series, great for everyone. So I really have no idea who's going to win this championship.
I've noticed how much money I've lost on betting this year, whereas I actually won some last year. So DW12 is good for the bookies, which I never thought that would be a plan from Dallara. But I mean, who do you see now with the tracks that we've got coming up, both of you? I mean, Jay, I mean, who is likely? I'd have bet on Power as the later tracks come up, but who knows? Do you?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, Power's, traditionally street course, these types of venues where he really shines, and Castro Nevis has been better on the ovals, historically, and all of a sudden, this weekend, Powell finishes third and Castro Nevis has, the better hand.
Looks like it's over for Dario Franchitti, though.
Yeah, another sort of run, even starting from the pole today. He never really looked like he was totally on the pace. You heard we had a problem with a push to pass at one point as well. Just didn't seem to have that ultimate pace. But looking at the championship itself, you've got to look at, Penske, that's the 5th win today. Two for Castro and Evs, 3 for Power earlier in the season. It's like the steamrollers gathering momentum, isn't it?
Well, we can get back to the track because our colleagues are lining up some more interviews for us down in Victory Lane.
Elio Castroneves enjoying the spoils of victory here in Edmonton, Alberta. A couple of more interviews. Let's first go to Marty Snyder.
Well, for Scott Dixon, on a day when the engine quits in the middle of the race, he still finished 10th. I guess, not too bad. What exactly happened with the engine, though? What was going on inside the car?
It was just at the start, like the first 5 laps. Whenever I went into the big braking zones, the engine would go into neutral. I think it was the anti-stall was kicking on. We'd had a little bit of problem with it during practice, but then in the race it kept doing it. I hit it 3 or 4 times and dropped all the way to the back again, which is tough. I think in a race today where it just kept running green the whole way, when you're starting far back like us, we needed to start well, get a lot of positions like Power did at the start, and then really work on fuel mileage and try and work our way up. But we started on the back foot, didn't really go anywhere, and 10th was okay, but obviously a lot higher would have been a bit better.
Had you gotten a caution, could you have made some headway? Was the car good enough to do that?
I think the car was really quick. I think we made a bad decision at the end to go to reds. I think our car was better on blacks. I think at the middle of the race we were the quickest car by quite a bit. So when you're spending your time behind somebody the whole race, you can never really see what the car's like. But I think it was quite quick. So we'll have to move on to the next one and try and make some valuable points up. We're 61 points behind now, so it's a little ways, but we can make it up.
Birthday boy finishes 10th.
James Hinchcliffe finishes 12th today. The track didn't bite you. Nothing broke, but Still, I'm sure you're hoping for a little bit more. What kind of issues did you deal with today?
Yeah, I mean, it's the worst running it finish we've had, which is unfortunate. You know, we missed the setup a little bit today, and you know, I made a mistake in that first stint trying to get by Pagenaud. That put us back a little bit, but you know, after that on the Reds, we were battling a handling issue a little bit, and man, it wasn't much, but it's so competitive right now in IndyCar that you miss it by a tiny little bit, and that translates to a lot of spots on the racetrack. So tough break for the whole team, and I think we can bounce back, and we got a test at Mid-Ohio coming up this week and try and come back stronger for the GoDaddy team and everybody at Andretti in a couple of weeks.
What was the racing like today, especially mid-pack with everybody so bottled up?
Yeah, it was pretty good. You know, this track obviously lends itself to some passing opportunities, and with the push to pass that we've got now, it certainly makes things a little bit more interesting. And you know, it was actually fun to run an all-green race. You know, I think it's the first time we've done that all year, which is pretty cool. And unfortunately, the windows were so small, it meant you had to save fuel for quite a bit. So I almost wish it had been a little bit longer, and it made, forced us to do 3 stops and really let us push and mix up the tire strategies a bit. But no, it's good everybody came through clean and came back in one piece.
All right, that's James Hinchcliffe. We'll see you at Mid-Ohio.
And Hinchcliffe remains 5th in the point standings by 76 behind the leader, Ryan Hunter-Reay. But the man of the day is Helio Castroneves, who won here. We'll be back to wrap it up in a moment.
Back with us again, and we can tell you James Jakes, the reason for his retirement, another British driver, of course, was a broken damper. Something that some of the teams were actually concerned about, Jay, because of the bumps and probably taking a bit too much curb in occasions. You heard them talking about broken dampers and the internals that come apart after so many shocks. But James Jakes, the only man that seems to have broken that.
Yeah, I know. Back, the last car, we would go to like Sebring, which is fairly bumpy track, and we would use that as a pre-testing before you go into like a street course. And I've experienced many times, the car's running fine, and then all of a sudden a damper will break or go, lose gas and fluid and stuff. So it's definitely an issue on some of these bumpier tracks.
Dampers to one side. There's been no dampener on the racing at the moment, and it's on now, isn't it? We've got 4 rounds left. It's a straightforward fight for this championship, and the top few guys are close enough to really make a difference. It's not anybody going to be able to leap away. Ryan Hunter-Reay is going to be under a lot of pressure from this point.
He certainly is. He had that obvious massive purple patch where he won 3 on the trot. Coming in here, pole position, then the engine penalty, fought his way back today, but we saw Power go from 17th to 3rd. We saw Helio win the race. He is under huge pressure now, and although it's been very unpredictable this year, you know where the fight's going to come from. You
wonder how much this engine penalty situation is going to influence these next 4 rounds. We've got Scott Dixon, who's just taken his 6th engine. He's only allowed 5 for the year. There are other people that are going to be in a similar position soon. It really could make a difference to this series, Jay.
Yeah, it is, and maybe they're going to change the rules next year. I don't know. Maybe the engines are, they're going to modify the engines. I don't know. But I would hate to be leading the championship and lose a championship over a penalty for an engine. That would be tough.
It would be tough. Let's hope it doesn't get to that. But of course, we will be seeing it here. That's it, though, for this week. We're back in 2 weeks' time for round 12. The Honda Indy 200 is on the classic Mid-Ohio sports car course, and we're live at 5:30 p.m. on Sky Sports 4 HD for all the action. Hope you can join us then, but for now, from Jay, Charles, myself and the whole Sky IndyCar team, thanks for watching. Bye for now.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.